This goes live pretty quick. Oh, we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another 42 Level 1. I'm one of your hosts, Alistair Kennedy, and here with me, as always, is the former Twilight Princess of all games, the current Twilight Princess of YouTube, the Uncharted 3 liar and denier, the no-show of last week because his shop was on fire, the man of many names, but we just call him one.
It's not here as always, yeah. It was not on fire, it was fine.
It rhymed, though.
It did rhyme.
Anyway, how are we, Andy? Get off your phone. No one cares what your shop's doing just now.
I was actually just muting the phone because I got the notification
Mute
for
them all. Sack all your staff.
No, I got the notification for the show going live.
Oh, very handy.
Yeah,
I don't even know how you do that. Oh, you subscribe.
You can subscribe and you can hit the little bell and it'll give you a notification when
Just
it goes
like
live, exactly like happened there.
We've seen the proof
before we started.
Free advertising. So anyway, we are back. We've got some news things to talk about. Andy finished a game. I finished a couple of games. Exciting times, Andy. And then we're leading into the big ones. We've got a few pre-orders down. Let's rattle them off before we start the show. So obviously Splatoon 3, still loving it. I missed the first Splatfest because I was busy working on some other articles. I just didn't play Splatoon 3 that week. However, next few months, man, this is wallet emptying time. We've obviously got Gotham Knights in a couple of weeks, which is potentially Game of the Year material right there. Pre-ordered that in PS5. The controller, and I need to play more of my PlayStation 5 these days, to be honest. So, and I've played all the other Batman games, so I pre-ordered that one there. What else did I get? Picked up Sonic Frontiers. Right now, this is we'll get back to Sonic Frontiers, but something about that kind of worried me. Not that I'm worried. I like Sonic. It gets a pass from me all the time. And what else did I pre-order? Was that it? I think that was it. But anyway, there's a load of I think that was it.
I cancelled the pre-order because I was thinking just the same as you, because the Gotham Knights and Sonic Frontiers. So that's quite a lot in a short space of time. So
day after each other.
I know what. Well, yeah, pretty much. I cancelled the order for the Mega Drive Mini 2.
Because you know as well as I do, that was a ridiculous purchase from you. Like, you're never going to use it.
It was more
if it was a Sega Saturn, I would say, do you know what, Andy? You need to buy this. You've had 2 or 3 of these over the years, at least 2 that I know of.
I've had one Mega Drive Mini. I have a normal Mega Drive, like an old school Mega Drive.
So you don't even need this. Just
no, not really.
Because
I can buy the games that I want for relatively cheap. So
or you can get an EverDrive cart and use the ROMs because emulation isn't illegal and you can't buy these legally.
This EverDrive cart, where did I get this from?
If you go on I think I've got. Let me check on the Ali's archives. I might have one, but I don't know how dear they were. This was bought before Children's, so they might be more pricey than I'm thinking about just now. Basically, it's the shape of a Mega Drive cart, and you put a SD card in. I want to say they're about $40, around about 40-50.
Okay.
And when you consider that's technically the price of one game, you can load it full of Sonic. That's all Sega's for. You can load it full of every Mega Drive game, more or less. I haven't even done this, but I've got one somewhere. But I've got a funny feeling that the one that I got was for. Remember, AT Games did one that took cartridges, and it was just awful. Yep. Like the sound was terrible. Yeah. I think it was that one that I ordered it for. Never used it, so I don't even know if it fits a normal Mega Drive. I think my Sega, my Mega SG, the analog one, I think
we'd work on that. Yeah, definitely.
No, I don't need one for that because I can use my SD card.
Yeah,
SD card for updating it. But I don't. I know it's technically the same thing, but I like playing the cartridges. I'm looking forward to my Analog Pocket coming out. I've picked up a few games for that along the way, ready for it to play. That's another rhymer. So yeah. Anyway, Sonic Frontiers. What worried me about that, Andy? I don't know why it worried me. It was the price for digital.
Okay.
And sometimes the price can dictate things like quality and length, regardless of what people say. Like if a publisher thinks this game's not up to much, we'll bang it out this. Or if this game's short as fuck, we'll bang it out cheaper. Sonic Frontiers at £50 for the PS5 version, not the PS4, the PS5 version, like $49.99. That's like £20 under normal release these days for a PlayStation game. What do you make of this? Like, I'm I don't have a worry about the quality. I've got a worry about the length of this game at that
So
price.
this game's also coming to PS4 in it.
Yes, but this was the PS5 version.
Well, yeah, sure, but it just means that the difference between the PS4 and PS5 version is going to be fuck all. It's going to be the same game, just with slightly better graphics and load
The
times.
logo.
There's not gonna you're gonna get no haptics or any shit like that at all. Like it's just gonna be bare bones port. So that's where the difference is going to be, because that's where the upgrade is, or the more expensive version. Usually it's £10 dearer because of that, and because most PS4, 5 crossover games like that have been going like 50, 60 or 40, 50. So like yeah, this is fine. They only go to 70 when they're next gen only version of the game.
Maybe. I don't generally buy many games these days because of Game Pass, to be honest. So that's why I was kind of shocked at the price.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm all in for that one anyway. Sonic Frontiers I've always thought it looked great, and then the internet was like, oh, we don't like it, and I'm like,
so how much did it cost you to get it?
$49.99. $49.99. It was like 54 for the deluxe version with a soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want the soundtrack or anything, but like I've got it ordered from Amazon for 45, so that's fine.
I can't wait, man. Like, it honestly looks so much fun. Like,
I don't know, man. Like, I am not looking forward to that game. Like, that's one I could happily cancel, but I'm waiting just in case it's good.
I bet.
But I don't like the look of it so far.
All the post previews have said that it's actually a lot of fun to play.
I think that's probably true, but I don't like the way it looks. Like, not the graphics. Like, I just don't think it looks like it's fun.
It doesn't look like it's.
It doesn't look like it's fun to play, but I will happily wait until I actually play it to see if it's fun.
It's Sonic. Do you know? I do think Gotham Knights could be my game of the year this year, though. I know there's many contenders for you, obviously, but Gotham Knights. I can't believe how quiet it's like 2 weeks.
There's one. There's one game. That's it. That is game of the year already. I can tell you fucking right now. Elden Ring's game of the year.
You can't say that because you've not played everything, so that's like stupid to say.
I don't even
Sonic
need to
could
play
blow
anything
you
else.
You do need to play.
I will. No, I will, but I guarantee you there's nothing I'll put anyone near as much time into as I put into Elden Ring.
Because you sucked at it. You spent about 90 hours on a boss that took me half an hour.
I mean...
You were awful at it.
I completed the game. You didn't.
I didn't like it. It's not that I couldn't. I just...
It's an amazing game.
I never even get stuck. I just get bored of it. I'm like, do you know what? I don't like this game setting. Don't like the way it controls. And that's okay. I don't have to like these games. I tried my best with Dark Souls after that as well. And I found myself just grinding over and over. And I know you don't need to grind over and over, but I just wanted to get through it. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't like the grinding. I have no real interest to see where the story goes. So yeah, both of them get put down. I'm not saying I'll never go back to them. Like, I'm not planning on trading Elden Ring right now, but it's still, I'm just like, I overhype myself for that game. I need to stay in my lane sometimes, and fantasy isn't my jam, as you know. Anyway,
I think you got overhyped for it because we thought it was co-op, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and that kind of disappointed me. I thought playing through one of these together could be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would have been. I think it would have been awesome fun, but like you can do it. It's just very, very convoluted to do it, and you have to keep joining back and forward and stuff. So it's not co-op in the way that you would think that it's co-op. The way that it was kind of. Not
marketed in a way,
not quite
hinted at, suggested that.
Yeah, suggested that. I think, and interpreted a lot of people interpreted the way that they sort of pitched the game to everybody as being like, this is a co-op fucking Souls game. Like, let's go, and it totally is not that. It's the exact same as the old ones where you have to like do all these weird things to invite people in, except open world. I mean, in terms of like, the co-op experience, like it's shit, absolute shit.
Yeah, I have had a look at what it's done since then, and like, good for them for that game doing so well. I mean, did great, but just not for me. But I mean, I keep forgetting Pokemon Arceus was this year, and like, I love Pokemon Arceus. Like, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. You don't like it, but I didn't like Elden Ring. I think Pokemon Arceus is better than Elden Ring. I really do.
No,
I finished it is to me, but I finished 100% of that, Andy. I've not done that since Pokemon Yellow. That game was like the first one to take this franchise to different places. It's been the same game, cookie cutter, every year since Pokemon Red and Blue. And Arceus switched it up a bit, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's Breath of the Wild." It wasn't really Breath of the Wild. It was more Monster
Definitely.
Hunter-y, if you want. I would say it's better than Monster Hunter. I enjoyed it more. I still haven't played the DLC, but no, this year's had some good games. But like next year, like it's just straight bangers. You get Breath of the Wild 2, which I still can't call Tears of the Kingdom because it's Breath of the Wild 2, and potentially
Tears of the Kingdom. It's not Tears of
Tears.
the.
It is
No, I'm going to
Tears,
call it Tears of the Kingdom.
but it's not though. So because it's not torn, like the kingdom's not torn, it's Tears of the Kingdom. So like anyway,
why is the kingdom crying? Like what is kingdoms don't cry?
It is upset.
About what?
Well,
the Queen died?
we had two. Yeah, we had 2 weeks to cry over the Queen, old Lizzie.
So who died? Anyway, who died in this world then? Like Ganon? They're upset that Ganon died.
Queen Elizabeth touched that many hearts that it even reached the world of Zelda. So that's what.
Right, okay.
Ganon even took a minute's silence and stopped being a dick for a while just because of the Queen. So show some respect. We've just lost our most treasured. Anyway, so like yeah, we've been playing. I've been playing some stuff. Andy's been playing at least one thing we finished. So I'll rattle off a couple of things and then we can do some news and then go back to Andy or whatever. I don't have too much to say about Yakuza, so I'll put that in here. I've been playing through Yakuza 0. Obviously, weren't here last week. That game's phenomenal, man. Like I love this series. I love everything about it. I love that if you don't go into the side missions, it's a very serious gangster style story, and if you do go into side missions, it's just very charming, crazy, creepy, almost Japanese humor.
Wacky nonsense is what the side quests are for that game.
But they're worth doing, man. Like, not that the main story ever gets boring, but if you ever go down a side alleyway, like the things that you meet down there and the people you talk to, it's crazy. So I just really love it, and I really need to get dedicated and get down. But I've got an issue. I've got an issue that we'll come to when we get to Andy talking of why I don't want to push through Yakuza 0. So anyway, played some more Splatoon 3, Andy, but I played a mode that I'm not usually one to play, and that's because it was a timed mode. It only came live every 12 hours in Splatoon 2 or something like that. Remember Salmon Run? It was fun enough, but wasn't always open. Well, now it's 24 hours, and guess what? It's fucking fun. They've changed it a lot. They've got 11 different bosses, and it gives it a lot more variation because there's different tactics to like take them down this time. And the fact that it's open all the time, it's like, eventually with Splatoon 2, I never went into the Salmon Run area because I'm like, well, it's every time I go there, it's blocked up. Why would you just shut off a mode?
So stupid. Yeah.
That was a ridiculous idea. So yeah, I tried playing the game with guns as well, Andy. I know I finished the storyline. I talked about that, I think, a couple of weeks ago. If not, I finished Splatoon 3 story. Do you know, I really like the rollers, right? See, if I want to go on and I'm not being competitive, I think I'll go a roller. But see, if you want to like get some kills, you need to shoot. But it's kind of difficult because it's more important to paint in that game to win than how many people you've killed. Like, you could die 10 times and still win the game, whereas you could kill somebody 10 times and not win the game. So I'm not a big fan of the guns in a shooting game. It's weird. But then there's more other options in this one than just like, because obviously there was guns and there was sloshers in Splatoon 2, which is like the buckets, but I hate them. Paintbrushes, you've got them, but you've got the window wipers that are the splatanas. That's kind of like a sword. I'm not the biggest fan, but I don't think I'm good with them yet. What did you say? I can't hear you, Andy.
That's a new weapon, isn't it? The katana.
Yeah, the splatana. Yeah, and it's basically like a window wiper, and it's like a sword. It's quite cool looking, and see folk that use it, they're really good. But for me, I haven't mastered it quite yet. So I just went back, but I did have some fun with the Nez Zapper. What this game does is it kind of, you've still got a lot of weapons you can choose from, but it's not as just a big selection. Like Splatoon 2 had like, I don't want to say 100 weapons, but it had a lot of weapons, and you didn't ever play all of them. Like, you barely ever tried even variations of the one that your favorite was. Whereas in this game, it's a smaller selection, so you're more likely to kind of, because in Splatoon 2, I'm sure there was 2 or 3 variations of the Nez Zapper itself, whereas in this one, it's just it's got the Nez Zapper. So I don't know. I still don't like guns. I hate sniper rifles in it because you don't actually aim down sights. You just hold it in and a wee reticle appears and it blasts because it's the third-person game. But I mean, Splatoon 3 is awesome. I cannot finish After Alterna, which is the bonus mission if you've finished every level in the story mode, because in the story mode, you basically progress and have to break down the sort of, not fungus, but like the mammal stuff to get to where you need to go. And you can skip parts of it. So I did everything along the way. After Old Tenor is just this crazy, like messed up level with like horizontal platforms, vertical platform, like it's a platforming test and a shooting test, and I'm not good enough to beat it. But I want to just to walk around with barriers, because see, every time you see someone with barriers, you're like, you've beat that extra hard mode at the end of the game, and the only way to get these years is by beating the mode. So I really want to do that. But yeah, I didn't talk about story mode finishing it. But this is the first Splatoon story mode. Like, I've always seen Splatoon as a multiplayer. Like, I got on the tail end of Splatoon 1. By the time I got Splatoon 1, like, Wii U was practically dead and you'd sold yours and stuff, so we never played it together. Splatoon 2, I don't even think we played together, but I did play with like Nelson and other people, and that... Oh no, we did play together.
I think we did play together, yeah, definitely.
The problem is, like, even if you manage to press A at the right time and get into the same lobby, you weren't always guaranteed the same team. Sometimes they throw you in different teams, and then sometimes one of you would drop connection, it would kick you out. Seeing this, I just love the fact it's like, connect with your friend. Yup, there you are. You can even see your ghost running about in the lobby waiting. Do you know what I mean? So it's like far better. They've improved everything.
Does anyone else actually have the game?
And there's people I know that have got the game.
Like, have you played with anybody yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. You're cheating on me in your games.
No. I bought the game and I told you to get it, and you didn't get it.
No,
I had stuff to write about it. There's guides if you want guides on it. Go to Game Rant. So I've played the game. Like, I played with Lexi, like, as well. First.
Oh yeah, of course.
She was desperate for it. So because I had to get her a physical copy because I'd bloody pre-ordered digital. But she plays the Switch that much now that it's like, it's annoying, because like when Lou goes to bed, I play Switch and she'll be like, oh, can I play my Switch? And I'm like, yeah. And she'll want to play a game and see if it's one of my cartridges like Mario. Like, I can't play that, so I then have to play something else. But she usually wants to play what I'm playing. So it's just as well. But I think it's going to be annoying if Leo gets into it and Lexi still likes gaming, because that could be 3 copies of each game that I need to buy. And I've seen parents on Twitter now doing this. Like, had to buy 3 copies of the game.
Only for some multiplayer games, though. Most games.
Splatoon, yeah. Smash, yeah.
Splatoon, Smash, Mario Kart, maybe.
But
like,
the thing is,
be very
why
rare.
can't I know it's silly talking about Nintendo Online because they always do it wrong, but why can't Nintendo do what Xbox do? And like, if I sign in with Lexi and Xbox, she can get access to what I've allowed her to. She can share my Game Pass. Nintendo allow me to share my online pass with her, which is nice. But why can't I share my digital library with her?
I mean, you can only do that. This is silly that you can't share your digital library with her, but you can only do that on Xbox and PlayStation with one other console.
No, but you can't do it on.
Like, you couldn't do it with both the kids, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
But you'd imagine though, by the time like Lexi gets old enough to play the games that you're playing, like as a grown up, she's going to want to play the grown up games. That she might want to play some of those older games because you've got loads. Leo's not going to be wanting to play the same games, so you could probably balance it a wee bit.
Yeah, but anyway,
or do it like me, just have one kid. That's the way.
I can't go back now. Can't push.
You can't go back now. It's too late.
So yeah, I've played Session Skate Sim.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And my review's coming out for that, so I don't want to say too much on it. It's not as good as I hoped it would be. Tony Hawk's and Skate are better than it.
Okay, this is the one that's kind of like the spiritual successor to Skate, is it not?
Yeah. It's more of a sim than Skate. Like, it actually makes Skate feel arcadey.
Okay.
And I don't want to say too much. My review's coming in the Xbox Hub soon. It's finished. It's just waiting on editing. I'll say this. It left game preview and went full price. It shouldn't have left game preview. And I had to review it that way because I know it's made by a smaller team, like only 9 people made it.
Yeah.
I wanted to love it because I like my skateboarding, as you know. But when you release a game that's 50 quid, I have to review it as a game that's 50 quid. I can't give you any... Like, if you'd released it at 20, it would have maybe had a different twist to it, but you've released this at like a full whack game. I can't review it any other way.
So how does it compare to that snowboarding game? Because that was made by
It's not as good. It's not as good. No, I preferred Shredders, that was. I really enjoyed Shredders, and it was made by a small team too. But it came to Game Pass. Like, there's a big difference, and like price these days does reflect how you feel about a game, personally.
Definitely.
So yeah, the review will be out soon for it. I don't want to say too much more. Like, there's parts of it that's really good, and there's parts of it that it's just, at the end of the day, I'm never going to buy it over Skate ever. Like, and I'm not the biggest fan of Skate either, but nah. Put it this way, it's not my console anymore, but Skate 3 still is. So I've I've got 2 more games to talk about, but I'll throw in a news story here, Andy, while before we talk about your game or games, depending. This one here came the other day, and is it this one? To the window.
To the wall.
It's this one. Share. So, can you see that now? Yeah, can we see that? Are we? Yep, there we go. So, this got shared the other day, Andy. Google smile, good smile. First look at Figma, Samus, Aran, Metroid Dread prototype. Now, for those that don't know, don't listen, tune in. Metroid's probably one of the best games is one of the best games I've ever played, right? And I love this version of Samus, like with the red, with the blue arms and the white. Very cool. However, there's not a lot of Metroid merchandise. And what they've done here is, look at that. That's the figure.
It's a very cool figure.
Highly detailed, like cool as F figure. And it's based on the Metroid Dread. It's not out to next year. I don't know if this will open. Let's get rid of that. I don't actually have. Look at that. I mean, it just looks nice. And
I think it's opened in a new tab that's not on this.
Oh, it has. Sorry, my mistake. Right. So I can't open up any new tabs, but like the figure looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It's out next year.
It's got a magnet.
And it's got a magnet, Andy. Yeah, that's what I was looking up, but I can't open the magnet without messing this up. So what I'll do is I'll just take that off. So yeah, the magnet allows Samus to hang from things, so you could have her displayed hanging off like the pad. It's such a cool figure. It is a pricey figure. However, they don't take payment until it's released, and PayPal do their pay in 3. So my pay in 3 hasn't even come out, my first payment. So £30 over 3 months, I'll pay that. And I think it arrives next November. I'll happily wait. I love that design of Samus. Yeah. You don't really ever see Metroid merch. Really?
No, ever. I mean amiibos, and that's maybe get t-shirts and posters. Like maybe
you did get figures back in the day when Metroid Prime 3 came out for the Wii.
Okay,
nothing.
I've never seen a figure for it ever.
Yeah, it was a Dark Samus figure and stuff like that. But yeah, that is an awesome figure, and it's my favorite Samus suit, and it's my favorite Metroid game. So I cannot wait for that. So that's good smell. You can pre-order it now. These are the sort of things they will absolutely sell out. Let me see.
Yes,
Magna. What did you think of the figure, Andy, while I'm Googling it?
I think the figure's fucking amazing. Like, it looks so cool. Like, I was tempted by it, and like, I didn't even like that suit that much. Like, the way it looks, but the figure's amazing. Like, if that was colored like the original color, I would probably buy it.
Is this working now? Are we shading? Have we got it up? There we go. Right. So this is the actual website. So here is what I was talking about. This is it here. That's the magnet.
That magnet thing. That's so cool.
So that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Whoever made that deserves a rise. Like, that's one of the coolest accessories. I love the fact.
Yeah, such a versatile figure. Like, look at the poses you can put it into. Like, fucking straight. These are straight out of the game. Like, straight out of the game. Like, so cool.
And I mean, it comes with the morph ball form. There's the accessories. You get the blaster cannon, you get the morph ball, and the removable hands are clever for different poses, but also the fact that the foot and the hand just slot in. Like, but even the figure just standing like this is one cool figure, man. Like, you don't
really cool.
You don't see figures with this much detail at normal prices, so that's why it is pricey. I think it was coming in at like $80, $90.
Oh, that's actually cheaper than I thought it was. I thought it was like $120.
It cost me like 100 with shipping.
Oh, okay, that's good, isn't it? Well, yeah. That's good.
No, was it 90 with shipping? It was about that. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Cool.
But yeah, look at that's the pose that the amiibo's in, which is when she's just about to fight the Emmy. And they are doing an Emmy figure, which I'm probably going to need to stump for as well, Andy. It's slightly bigger than this, but I just love the sliding pose, like you said, the versatility of this figure.
Cool.
I wonder if it is sold out already. Not sure if it's still got the pre-order up. Doesn't tell me. I suggest where to purchase. Smooth posable joints, morph ball, omega cannon, spider magnet base is made with magnets. So I don't know if that actually sticks in a fridge, by the way. Kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
It does look like that. Yeah, it looks like you stick it in the fridge.
Like an actual magnet. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait for that. Just stop sharing.
I would not stick it to your fridge. Your kids will definitely take that off and play with it and wreck it.
They absolutely would. Yeah, they would get a hold of it. So yeah, this is the problem. Like Fraser, I can't remember what he got the other day. He got something really cool. I think it was a clear Pokeball, and it had Mew etched inside, like the crystal.
Yep.
And it lit up, and she was like, "This is cool." And I'm like, "I don't have anywhere to display. I don't have an extra room in the house because obviously you've got one kid, Fraser's got one kid, so he's got an extra room." And it's like, well, I could get it and then keep it on my desk out at my mum's when I work from home and do it out there. But I said, I'm not. We'll see where I'm at next year. Don't get me wrong, like, see in a few years' time when the kids aren't interested in stuff and it's like, Dad, why are you playing with it? I could probably display it out, but even then I wouldn't, because what the sneaky fuckers will end up doing is their pals will be around, somebody will play with it and get it broken. So no. These just go in the loft until the kids have moved out, and then I can bring them out one by one and go, I don't like this stuff anymore, I'm just going to sell it. So that was the Samus Aran figure, Andy, which is absolutely a phenomenal figure. I can't wait for that. So let's talk about, Andy finished a game, or have you got other games to talk about, or do you want to talk about that one first?
I want to talk about a news story first before we talk
What's
about
your news story, Andy?
Google Stadia, Ali. We need to talk about Google Stadia.
So Google Stadia, do you know it died 3 years ago when it sent all of us that had YouTube Premium free Stadias, like a free Chromecast is basically what I've got now. And I tried it, and do you know what? The idea was good. The streaming worked better than PlayStation and Xbox xCloud. It really did. But the problem was they kind of hyped it up to be what Game Passes became, and then it turned out, it's just, we're just going to sell you games. And it's like, don't want that. And then they kind of tried to bring in like a games with gold style thing, and it's like, but these are all shit games. You promised us exclusives. They can't put it this way. Here's why it failed. The news came out that they, along the way, they had cancelled a game with Hideo Kojima. They'd said, no, we don't want it. Madness. Who cares what the game's going to be? If you release that game, people will buy your system to play it because you say exclusive Hideo Kojima game. Folk will go, okay, I'm in. They don't care what it is. It could literally be a game where you do that and have to blow a bit of paper up in the air for 30 hours. And then a cutscene with a ghost.
It could be a game where you have to walk around and deliver packages for 30 hours.
Did that. Yeah, exactly. But the madness that they cancelled it and said, no, thank you. And do you know the thing is, Andy, here's the crazy thing. It was a sequel to Death Stranding.
Jesus. Wow.
An established game that some people absolutely love. Death Stranding's Marmite. Yeah, they love it or hate it. And they turned it down. So bad decisions is why that failed. It's a shame, right? Because the thing looked cool. I just think there's a whole thing where people aren't ready for non-ownership, right? People still like, even me, I don't like Game Pass that much. I'm still tempted to actually buy stuff, even if it's digital. And I know digital is still a license and whatever, but it's like, I still want the feeling of ownership. And you don't get that from cloud. All you get is, I'm borrowing this. Like, this could go away at any point. Whereas if you've bought it digital, unless they cancel the whole game and whatnot, it's still in your system. And
or if they do like this, like they've done with Stadia, like all your purchases are gone because they've cancelled it. So like if you bought a game on it, like you're not going to be able to play it anymore.
Yeah, but if they do that, it's going to be physical as well. But what I'm meaning is people like ownership, and I think that's a big problem. Whereas cloud, you don't own anything.
Yeah.
Even physical, you still own it. It's just a license, and they can cancel that. Look at Overwatch 1. If you own Overwatch 1, this is the crazy thing, Andy. Overwatch 1, which got Game of the Year, doesn't exist anymore. You could you could buy Overwatch tomorrow, put it in a console. There's nothing to play. They've shut all the servers down already. The new game's out now, I think.
I think that game's going to be rare in the future. The disc copy.
Overwatch. They're everywhere. You can get them for like £7 in charity shops now.
Right, we can get them for less than that in charity shops. But in the future, say 10, 20 years' time, that's going to be harder to get hold of. Because people will
just throw them in a bin.
Yeah.
Because you guys will stop. Second-hand stores will stop taking them in because they don't want.
Already done.
Oh, so you don't take them? I'm sure there was a game that happened to before when I worked at the
Destiny 2, probably.
Was it Destiny 2? No, there was a game where maybe it was Destiny 2, and it's like, well, it's free to play, so we're not paying for it anymore. It's unreal. Like, but it's the fact that Destiny 2, you can at least still play it. Overwatch 1 does not exist anymore. Like, so I own Overwatch 1 on the Switch digital, and if you open it up, it doesn't work. So it's like, I know you've got this second version, but it's not the same game. It's not the same game. So do I get a refund? Because I don't want to play Overwatch 2. I have no interest in Overwatch 2. I didn't really like Overwatch 1, but like I paid full price for Overwatch 1 and you're now not even 10 years and you're like, nah, it doesn't work at all.
Yeah. I mean, that is what Google is doing, supposedly. Google are supposedly refunding everybody for all purchases on Stadia.
No, they are by January.
Yeah. So
they've got the money to do that.
They've got the money to do it. That's one thing, but what a fucking monumental fuck up that is. Like, the amount of money they must have spent on that. Now they're like, cancelled, give everyone all of their money back. Like, what?
At least I got a free Chromecast Ultra out of it, man. That's a 4K Chromecast for free.
I got a 4K
and a nice
Chromecast and a controller that I traded in and got like something else for. I don't remember what I bought, but I bought something else instead.
See, here's the thing: they never updated the controllers to be compatible with like anything else.
Yeah,
I think those are dead controllers.
I think you can use them wired on a PC, but I think that's it.
Yeah, but they're practically dead controllers now. And it was such a nice controller as well, and it had a YouTube search button and everything in it. It was set up so well, and literally where they failed was it's again not being clear enough with their messages, because when they were initially marketing it, me and you both thought, oh, cool, that's like a pay once and eat everything you want gaming service, like what Game Pass ended up being. And they'd hit it at the right time. It was round about Game Pass or just before it. And I'm like, this is awesome. Then it came out and it went, no, you're going to have to pay to play online. And so you're going to have to buy the games and pay us to play them.
Yeah.
If you don't pay every month, you can't play the games you own. That was ridiculous. And folk don't like confusing messages. They're just like, look at the Xbox One. Fans just went, fuck you, I'll buy a PlayStation. If you're not going to let me share games. Wii U was a bit different. That was just ridiculous market. They didn't know how to market it. They brought it out and people thought it was a screen for the Wii. So that's not kind of in the same wheelhouse. And plus the Wii U outlasted the Google Stadia, so you can no longer slag the Wii U anymore. It was on sale and releasing games longer than the Stadia. So Stadia was just, I don't know. It's just such a shame. But I think now the gap's in the market for Xbox to come out with their streaming stick with literally just the Game Pass app on it and a controller and go 70 quid with 3 months Game Pass. There you go. And you can play anywhere. Controller and literally like a Kindle, a stick you put in the back of your telly with an HDMI port. Boom. Controller's already paired. You just need to charge both of them. You get, and that's where Xbox need to move on now.
Well,
everyone can have Xbox.
The thing is, right? Like, I mean, a lot of people already have a lot of Xbox controllers and shit like that already. Anyway, they can just sell the stick for 20 quid.
Yeah, and say 3 months Game Pass, months Game Pass.
Yeah,
give
it to people for free, and then you've got the controller. And they can obviously do a bundle as well with a controller.
Do you know who I think that would get back, Andy? See, lapsed gamers that gave up last gen, because now there's some folk pissed off with this gen going, there's nothing on next gen, because they're right, and they're like, I'm not upgrading. Like my brother-in-law's like that. Darren, is like that. My cousin Jamie, he loves his PlayStation. He's like, I don't see the point in upgrading just now. So it's like, and these are all people that could have bought the consoles even though they're short in stock. But they're like, I don't see the point. So if you want someone on board that is playing the few number of games that is on next gen, sell them an Xbox stick, literally like a Fire Stick with an Xbox logo on it and an HDMI connector. Boom, there you go. And you've got them tied into your service. Crazy. But
I think anyway, once you try Game Pass, like it's very difficult to then.
I'll never get rid. It's like Netflix now.
Yeah, exactly. Same with Netflix. Same with like Disney Plus as well. I would say. For me anyway.
Prime is where I do use Prime because mostly for delivery and the occasional program. But I still use Prime. But like so Stadia, rest in peace. It was a good idea. And see all these people saying, oh, it was just ahead of its time. No, it wasn't. Because on Live, they tried that like 10 years ago and it worked really well as well. And I think it's to do with the ownership thing. Because I think, see, when you're buying a game digital, you still feel like, I own those games. Even though I could go to my Xbox just now and Xbox have went, haha, we've deleted your whole library. It's in the terms and conditions. Like they could.
They could, yeah.
But then again, they could do it with you, with your discs. You put a disc in, they could go, haha, you can't play anymore.
Yeah, Overwatch, like
any of them. So I still think, even though it isn't actual ownership, I still think buying a game digitally, you still feel like you own the game. Whereas if you're playing cloud, it's like Netflix. Like I don't feel like I've got that as a movie library. I don't feel like I own those movies. So anyway,
Game Pass is also a little bit like that because you don't
Game Pass
own the game,
you don't own them, and the games rotate. So,
but Microsoft is very upfront about that. They're like, you can access the Game Pass library while all the games are in it, and they give you plenty of notice when the games are coming out.
They did say all Xbox exclusives will always be there, though. They did say that their games will, but third-party ones need to rotate. But that's why, like, you'll see a film on Netflix one month, Amazon Prime the next month. Netflix one month, Amazon Prime the next month.
Yeah.
It happened to me recently. Like I just watched Dread. You remember that film Dread with Carol Urban?
Great movie. Absolutely brilliant movie.
It was okay, right? I like Judge Dredd when I was wee. I've not read the comics for years. It was 2000 AD, the magazine. Remember that? And I just thought, do you know what? It's time to watch it because I went to watch it and I went, oh, it's not Netflix. And do you know what the thing was? I went over to Prime. I went, oh, they must have moved it to Prime last week because it was on Netflix before.
Yeah.
Tasha really enjoyed it. I liked
that tracks, yep, because I really liked it. I said that tracks because I really liked it.
I like the Sylvester Stallone better, but I think that's because I liked 90s cyberpunk style films like the Mario movie, Blade Runner, all that sort of. I like the way that the 90s filmmakers imagine the future, and I just like that look. And Stallone's one was really cool because remember that one where he gets set up? It was like, I didn't break the law, I am the law. And it was like he had to prove his innocence and he had to climb through tunnels with Rob Schneider, the stapler. So that I can't believe Rob Schneider.
What was the movie with the 3 seashells? What was that?
It was a Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yeah, that's the other one. Yeah.
But no, Dread was really good. But the thing that I kind of missed from it was it was only humans, like, but in Mega City 1, there's like aliens and robots and stuff, and I didn't see any of them, and I'm like, if they do this, I guess they were waiting for a sequel because then they could have got a bigger budget and done more, but as far as I read, this didn't do well at the box office, but it did well afterwards. However, further reading, Andy, there is a TV show coming called Mega City 1, and it follows this.
Is it with Carl Urban?
Carl Urban, yes.
Oh, okay, I'll definitely watch that. Cool.
However, he may not be the main character because of his other commitments now with the boys.
Yeah.
But Carl Urban has said, yeah, I'm going to do it. They've got a script. They just, because COVID, it was meant to start filming and then COVID hit. Obviously, it's one of those that because it hadn't started anything, 2 years, it was completely, we don't know what's happening. But as far as I know, it's back on. Mega City 1, it's called. Not too much information, but Carl Urban's into it. They want to have him on board and it's called Judge Dredd Mega City 1. But the last thing I heard was it wasn't going to be a Judge Dredd centric one. He was just going to, show up.
Yeah.
Which is fine because I like the aesthetic. I like some things about the city. How horrific was that drug though? Where they're like, we're going to push them over the edge. Do you want me to give them the drug? And when they give them the drug, everything slows down to 1%. So those people must have felt like they were falling forever before they hit the ground. But then he did it to her at the end. So, and it's not spoilers because it's 10 years old. I just hadn't seen it. I couldn't believe how old it was. I was like 10 years old. This is still the new Judge Dredd to me.
I know.
So yeah, it's time for a Judge Dredd movie again, or a thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I really like the fact that he didn't take his helmet off. And I read an interview with Carl Urban saying people don't need to see my face. Like they paid to see Judge Dredd, not Carl Urban. And I'm like, do you know what? Well done to you, because I don't see the point in Iron Man taking his helmet off. He gets to be Tony Stark for 20% of the movie anyway. Why Robert Downey Jr. had to have his face? It's like, you don't need to be seen. You don't need to be seen.
I mean, technically he does do that now and again in the comics where he's got
that's not why Robert Downey Jr.
I know.
And it's only time people took their mask off, and it was a big thing, was in the comic Civil War when Spider-Man took his mask off, and everyone was like, oh, seeing this? Everyone must just be walking about with like superheroes with no masks on. So that's really warm today.
Well, there's not really any secret identities like in the MCU, but in the original Judge Dredd movie, like he took his helmet off. He's got his helmet off after fucking 5 minutes. Like, and I don't think he put it back on for the whole movie.
I need to watch that one again though, because after I watched the one last night, I went, that was good. But there was nothing wrong with the original. The original was really good as well.
No, the original was good as well.
93, something around there.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I just remember them escaping to the desert through the tunnel. It was good.
The cannibals in it. Cannibals.
Yeah. It was good. And there was the big robot in that. There was a big, I can't remember the name of it, with the big square jaw holding the guy up. Oh yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, but this film, it was good, but I would have liked it more if it felt more, I don't know, otherworldly, like as if it was the future. This just felt like Glasgow. Like it didn't really feel.
It's just a tower block movie. Like,
I know,
but it was a really good tower block movie.
They could have had a few robots in there, even if they couldn't afford the budget for the aliens. They could have. But then I don't know what's cheaper. But in the comics in the original movie, there was aliens and stuff and robots, and it's like we didn't have that in this. It just felt like you get locked in the Brayhead Centre overnight, sort of thing. But the costume was really cool. I love these gun or the different bullets, and I'm like, man, I need a Judge Dredd game where like it's like the origin of Judge Dredd, where I've got to like learn how to use my gun with it and synergy bullets and like there was a Judge Dredd game
on PS2. It was
versus Judge Dead, I think it was, and it
something
was
like that. Yeah,
or is it Judge Dead? It's the dead one, the kind of like necro style judge that he was fighting.
Sure.
No, but I mean, imagine right, Judge Dredd that looks like Cyberpunk. Just do it. Like make that film into a game. Just give me that. Give me loads of levels, and it doesn't even have to be like a big AAA release. Like I would happily play it. Just give me like Judge Dredd first mission or something like that. That'd be cool. Yeah, I want one of those. Please go make them. No, I'm meaning you, Andy. Go make them.
Oh, okay. Right. See you later.
So yeah. Anyway, while we talk about Cyberpunk, Andy, I did play some Cyberpunk.
Oh.
I did watch Edge Runners because everyone's like, "Oh, Cyberpunk's so good now, and they fixed it, and they've done this, and Edge Runners is so good." I'm not the biggest anime fan, so I'm probably not the best one to comment. I thought it was okay, but I got bored. I didn't even like see the exciting parts where it's ramping up to the finale. I gave up. I'm like, I've seen 6 episodes of this. I've no interest to watch 2 more. It's not good. And it's not that I hate anime, because remember last week I watched the full Tekken anime, start to finish. Absolutely loved it. Thought it was brilliant. I've seen Street Fighter animes.
Well, yeah, but you don't like anime.
No.
Definitely
not in
not.
general, no. I've tried. I've tried with Dragon Ball. I played the Dragon Ball game. It was good. I like some of Naruto, but in general, no, I'm not let's just sit and watch anime guy. But I mean, people seem to love it. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay, I'll go and fire up Cyberpunk. And they're like, oh, the Edge Runners DLC. Okay, so here's what the DLC is. You go to one place and you get a phone call from one of the guys in it, and you get the jacket from the game. That's it.
All right.
So Cyberpunk, you could now transmog, which is great, because Cyberpunk was one of those games where you ended up wearing like stupid stuff like The Witcher. You're in a Jester's costume for half of it. And it's like, I want to look like Get Out. I don't want to wear a green top with puffy sleeves, but it's got better armor. So transmog's great in it. So I've got my V looking cool. I ended up doing all the missions for the Nomads. Done the romance mission with the chick out there. I cannot remember her name. It was really cool, those missions, though. You had to kind of stop a train and stuff like that, kind of Wild Westy. But this game's not like miraculously fixed. It's not. All these people saying it is fixed, they're not telling you the truth. I'm playing it on a Series X, by the way. Like, it's not fixed. I didn't think it was horrendously broken in the first place. It's still, I put it on the other week, and I think I sent you a video where like NPCs are spawning like inside each other. Like, and not that way. It's just they're literally like 4 arms like this.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen that. Yeah,
that's not a fixed game.
I think it's fixed on PC. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, that was the last patch for last gen that just came out, and they're working on further fixes. Apparently, they were held back severely because they've now admitted that they were held back by like a year progress because of trying to make it work in last gen. So the patch that's going to come out has got functioning AI, because if you play the game just now, people just still walk. They don't even try and move out your way or anything or react to you. People are just walking up and down. So the AI is going to work. There's going to be a police system. I heard something about proper weather cycles, actual graphical updates, improvement on movement. So basically, the next gen version isn't out yet.
Yeah, even though it's out, it's not out. Yeah, they've not. Yeah,
the next update, which will be next year now, is going to have it. So I've not given up in the game.
Where's this Witcher fucking update?
So, well, I'm glad you joined us tonight, Andy, because CD Projekt Red had a Nintendo Direct.
okay, because I'm just waiting to play The Witcher until that comes out.
Okay.
And I've been waiting a long time for this now. It feels like I bought this game a long time ago.
Yeah, I've finished it. It's amazing now. My wee cousin bought it since then and finished it. Sure. Right. So, okay. So, blah, blah, blah. Right. So here we go. CD Projekt Red. They've confirmed a Cyberpunk sequel, a Witcher trilogy, and 2 other Witcher games, plus a new IP, Andy.
Cool.
So this is from Eurogamer. So the code name CD Projekt Red has got for Cyberpunk is Orion. It will be the next Cyberpunk game, and I like the fact they're moving it onto Unreal Engine instead of their in-house. And I think that's
makes
going to
sense.
let. Yeah, Halo's doing this as well, by the way, with their new director. It's easier to work with, and it allows other people to join the company without having to be trained how to use their in-house engine.
Yep. Makes
So
perfect sense.
basically, there's no mention about the Cyberpunk multiplayer project. I think they've just canned everything Cyberpunk wise, and what they've said is work on the next one, get the DLC out, and patch it for next gen, so that by the time we move away, they go, "Oh, it ended up okay." And the fact that they've got a decent anime out, that's done it wonders. Right. So the code name for the next in the Witcher series is called Polaris Andy. And then they've got another one called Canis Majoris, which is going to be, this is the part that I really like about this. CD Projekt Red to their shareholders have said, we're a roleplay game company. We can't, they finally stood their ground, because you know how Cyberpunk was rushed because the shareholders and investors.
Yep.
They've stood their ground and said, we can't make these games. So the multiplayer game is getting shipped out to third-party studio, and so has another game, an action-based one. Because they're like, our speciality, we were a small studio that became big because of The Witcher. We make role-playing games. And I think this is a great decision for them. And there's a third Witcher franchise game being codenamed Sirius. Again, there's nothing about these, but they've given us a roadmap, right?
You know what it sounds like to me here. Like this kind of sounds like the way that Assassin's Creed is doing it. Like where
kind
they're
of, yeah.
out, like Assassin's Creed's putting out Mirage, and then there's another bigger game coming down the pipe. Yeah, that
absolutely.
Makes sense to me. Yeah, fine.
So, and here we go. So Sirius is including the multiplayer element on top of single player. So basically what they've said is the multiplayer elements, we're a role-playing studio. But see these other guys, Molasses Flood, that are working on Sirius, they're going to do your multiplayer Witcher game that y'all want. So that'll be like a small co-op Witcher game.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'd like to play a co-op Witcher game. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Right. And as for the long-awaited current-gen console update for Witcher 3, there's no new detail, Andy, although it is still set for this year.
Okay.
Lastly,
I'll play it next year then. Like, oh my god.
Lastly, a brand new IP codename Hadar is in the pipeline, and details are under wraps. But basically, what they wanted to say is they wanted to have 3 main IPs. They want The Witcher, Cyberpunk, something else. So that gives them the 3-year cycle. And if they're working on Unreal, it's going to be a lot better. Now, this is the roadmap. Now, be prepared. You can read this one, whereas all the ones for The Witcher were bright yellow and garish.
Oh, you mean Cyberpunk ones are yellow? Yeah.
So The Witcher, we're going to get Sirius by Molasses Flood. So that one's the next one coming up. Okay. Then we're going to get a new Witcher trilogy, in which they said would be released over the course of 6 years. So one every 2 years.
Yep.
For the new trilogy. And then after that, we're going to get Canis Majoris by a different company. So we are going to get, like you said, an Assassin's Creed. What's the new one called?
Mirage.
It's going to be Assassin's Creed Mirage. Like, that's my prediction on it.
Yep.
And I'm not Jeff Grubb. I'm not going to apologize if I'm wrong, but that's definitely what I think Sirius is going to be. And it's going to be to tide us over. I would imagine you would see Sirius next year for the first time. And maybe the year after it comes out. And then we're going to hear a lot about the new Witcher trilogy. They're not going to mess that up. They're not going to do a Cyberpunk with The Witcher. However, they are still pushing ahead with a Phantom Liberty expansion. Yeah, and people moaning about that forget that the Witcher expansions were up to 20 hours each and included a whole new map. So this could be quite a decent chunk of game, and it's next gen only.
Good.
Then they're still pushing ahead with Cyberpunk, which is good because I like the world. Like, I want it to be a prequel though, featuring Jackie and only Jackie and Jackie and all his actors. Rest in peace, Jackie. Such a shame, man. All the good times we had with Jackie, like when his bike glitched through the garage, or when Jackie got out the car in the middle of a firefight, or when my gun didn't spawn in the game. Oh, Jackie! And then obviously we've got our brand new IP, which we don't know about, and I don't know what it could be, because we've got fantasy, we've got sci-fi. What is there apart from that? I don't know.
Space.
Yeah, sci-fi can do space, but you're probably right, actually. Yeah, like a Mass Effect style one.
Yeah, because if you think of it, like Witcher is Skyrim, Cyberpunk is Fallout, and then
space would
it's going to be space.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to hear about Hadar for a while, but I think the next one we're going to hear about, obviously we've heard Phantom Liberty, we're going to hear about Sirius for the Witcher, which is cool, which basically means that they are focusing on the Witcher trilogy, but they're realizing people are hungry for it because of the Netflix show. We're about to get season 3 of that. We're about to get Blood Origin as well, which is the prequel series.
And The Witcher 3 released in, what, 2015?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
7 years ago.
But you've got they've been working on Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
and they were rushed on Cyberpunk. So
yeah.
So that to me is exciting, right? And I'm kind of glad they're being more open and they're not giving dates. This is the best thing about this is they've not said next year, the year after, like because
I mean,
that's when CD
I'm-
Projekt Red did this in the past and messed themselves up because they had
for
to delay.
sure. But I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty shit that they've not got this fucking next gen patch out, or at least
They
even
said
have a
it's this
date
year.
for it. Like,
But see, to be honest,
there are
right,
2 months
the
left.
one,
Like, when's it coming out?
the
31st of December.
the One X and the PS4 patch is really good anyway. Like it's really playable. If they delay it again, I would say just bloody play it. But anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited about The Witcher again. I always was. And Cyberpunk, I just think they made a mistake in the first game. They were rushed to get it out, and it's
Yeah, for
out
sure.
now. They basically just kind of have to plaster up the holes and go. It looks okay though, right? And maybe the next time they won't make any promises like they did before because I think they overpromised and then get rushed to bring it out.
Yeah,
And it's okay overpromising as long as you hit most of the promises. But when you promise so many things in it, like full of blown, like relationships with characters and like a lot more customization, a lot more things to do in the world because the world doesn't have a lot to do between missions. Andy, it looks populated and it looks like you should be able to go in any shop, but you can't. The police don't do anything ever. You can kill someone in front of the police; they don't do anything. So
it is a recoverable situation though, because other studios have done this before. No Man's Sky, for example, overpromised and under-delivered, and then
they're still delivering now,
and they still are keeping updating that game. And like the game's good. Like it's not an amazing game, I wouldn't say, but like it's good.
I got it day one as well, but we tried it not that long ago, me and you, what was maybe about a year ago, but it's complex now.
It's complex, yeah, for sure. But that's what the people that are into No Man's Sky want.
Yeah, they want all these different systems and it's cool, but it's good that this is an indie studio that stuck with it. So see all these big budget studios saying we don't have the money for it. It's like you're lying. You just don't want to. You want to move on to tick your next box for the shareholders and get your bonus. So anyway, that was the Cyberpunk news. I personally don't think it's fixed, but I never had a big problem with it anyway. I will argue to this day that the version that I played, because I played it in the One X, because it was out before the Series X, it ran better on the One X than it does in the Series X. I'll say that now. It looked better and it didn't have as much glitches on the One X. I don't know why. It just that's the one game that stands out to me. Like, why does this look so bad on this console? No idea. But anyway, I've not given up hope with it. I didn't like the anime. It's no saying you wouldn't. Like, you like anime a bit more than me, but you're not an anime guy either, really. But it was okay. It introduced a character called David, like, and it was set.
David.
Like, yep. What's wrong with that? Your name's Andy. So
no.
Like, you've got a fantastical name.
This is Cyberpunk. Like, I want fucking. Why? I want Jackie.
All right, sorry. No, it's a different story. It's not. Jackie was a biker guy. This is about the Edge Runners, obviously, that are, and it's not Edge, not to be confused with the world famous Edge Patrol from Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Oh, well, yeah.
Not the backdoor boys that Fraser used to call us. We were the Edge Patrol, and it was a tactic that worked for us. It gave us time to look at the map and enjoy things, and definitely worked. Fraser hated that tactic and always gave us away by shooting at people when we were like, "You don't shoot at anyone until you can shoot them from a bush." Yes. I love that game. But anyway, yes, Cyberpunk is not fixed, but I never thought it was that bad in the first place. And I still like the world. I'm just, again, in no rush to finish it.
That's one I'll go back to at some point. Like, that's bound.
Do you know what you should wait for? The next gen patch next year.
Yeah, exactly. It's bound to come to Game Pass or PlayStation 5 Plus or whatever. I'll play it when it goes there. Like, I don't need to buy the game again.
If it comes to PlayStation 5, you know you're getting the PS4 version only. Because that's what they do with this stuff.
That's true, yeah.
Like, have the Avengers game, but it's last gen. Why? But you offer a free upgrade for the PS4 version? Yeah, but not if you got it off a Plus.
Yeah, no. Like, I mean, I think they've kind of gotten better with that.
No, they haven't.
With premium. No, with premium though, like they're just not giving you the PS4 versions of these type of games. You just don't get them at all now.
Yeah. So I played a few more games, but Andy obviously played one. We've got I think there's another news story. Well, we've got a trailer to watch as well. Oh, sorry. To finish that story, the CD Projekt Red CEO is stepping down. The weird thing is he was one of the co-founders, so he must not agree with the new direction they've taken. Or something, but he is he's pursuing a new role at the company, which just means that someone else is taking over and he's doing whatever.
It's gone into some other part of it. It's fine.
How crazy is that? That's technically 5 Witcher games, Andy.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it makes sense. Like The Witcher is only gotten bigger since The Witcher
The
3 came
TV
out.
show and the
Yeah,
TV show.
TV show is done massive for it. Like, and the additional TV show that they made as well, and then like obviously they're continuing the TV show on and on and on. So it makes sense.
Yeah, there wasn't too much more news, but there's one that I wanted to talk about after we spoke about your win, and then I've got my games as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got Bayonetta 3 this month as well. It's just a crazy month for games, Andy.
So speaking of that, right? I did buy Bayonetta 1.
Ooh, I still haven't finished that one. I need to get on that.
And I played the first level.
Yeah.
And like it was okay.
What did you play on Switch or
on Xbox? Because it was on that sale. You pointed out to me that it was on sale for like £6 or something. Yeah. So I bought it there and I played the first level and it was fast and frenetic and yeah, like it was fine. I think that I did not necessarily not for me, but like I have to be in the right mood to play a game like that because there's so much shit moving around on the screen. Like
it's a hack and slash. See, if there was nothing, you'd be like, "This is brilliant."
No,
it's a
but
walking
like,
simulator.
It's the shooting and stuff that's going on in it. Like there's so much shooting and playing that and like try to get used to controls and whatnot.
Hey, it's worse than 2. Like, and 3 looks even more insane in that.
Yeah.
Mode.
So
it almost looks like a shoot. Is it shoot a hell they call it?
Bullet hell, almost. Yeah.
Bullet hell. That's what 3 looks like.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it some more. When I'm in more of that kind of mood for like that type of content. But like, it's not.
I mean, you've paid more for a Greg's that tasted worse. So
yeah, for sure. I didn't even pay the full amount for it because I had like £2 on my Xbox wallet. That
you paid a £5.
Yeah, because they'd given me money for free at one point. I think they gave me £6 for free, and that's when I bought that. What's the game? Remember there was the game that got the sequel announced, and we bought the game for like £4 a few weeks ago.
Did I buy it?
What was it? Not Dragon Age, but one of those type of games.
Was it Dragon's Dogma that we both
Dragon's
bought?
Dogma, yeah.
I bought that. Well.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it.
Like,
I haven't even looked at it.
I haven't touched it either, but like I listened to...
We get so excited. We're like, there's a sequel coming. It's got an anime. Sequel must be good.
It's £4.
We've had no interest, but we're like, £4, we'll buy it.
I did hear like Fred was talking about it on VGP, and like he was talking about it because he'd played it before and he went and played the remaster of it now, and he's like, this game is amazing. Like it's one of the most underrated games ever. So I'm like he's got quite a good taste in games.
Yeah.
So like I will play that game at some point, based purely just on his recommendation and the fact that I bought it for £4. But yeah, Bayonetta, I will plug away at it. Probably in the next couple of weeks. I got more time off. Yeah, but I did finish a game. So yeah, you were alluding to it. I did finish a game finally, and it's been a slog with this game, man. Honestly, like
no, sorry, like rephrase that. You've been a slog with this game.
I for sure. So I finally finished Resident Evil 1 HD.
Do you like that I had that ready?
Yeah, completed it, mate. Yeah. It took me 29 hours to complete it.
Which is insane because you're on easy mode with Jill.
On easy mode with Jill, yeah. 29
and
hours.
A guide.
And I did use a guide, yeah. I'm not even going to hide the fact that I used a guide because I don't think I could have completed this game without a guide because there's so much backtracking in it. I will say the guide was garbage and confusing as fuck.
And you still used it instead of looking up another one?
No, because I didn't, like, anytime I searched for a guide, like, this is the one that always came up, and I'm like, it's just, click on this link.
Too lazy
but
to scroll.
It's funny, because it was like, this guide was written by Jared Petty, who was a frequent contributor and co-host at Kinda Funny. So, like, I knew who he was, and I'm like, this is the guide. Like, I know who this guy is. Yeah, like, he's got some weird opinions, but I'm sure, like, he'd have written a good guide. Did he fuck? This guide is terrible. There's so many times where there's, like, it'll tell you to do something, and you're like, what? And it doesn't make sense the way it's described. And when you do it in the game, you're like, oh, yeah, I could have described that fucking way better. Also, there's quite a few points where you need to have slots in your inventory and things like that, and specific items, and you haven't been told by the guide to get them, so then you need to go back to the fucking box and then back. So yeah, just even without the guide, like there would have been so much backtracking and back and forward, picking up items, taking them back, putting them in the box, going again. Like, oh, I did pick up most of the items. Like most of the rooms were green by the end of it. I think the only thing I didn't pick up was like a few herbs and shit that I didn't need. So, and I did end up with plenty of ammo towards the end, which cool. Did up with plenty of ammo towards the end, which I think you'd mentioned that I probably would end up with. But I tried to be kind of conservative and just use my handgun at times when I could have used the cool fucking fun guns. But I was just expecting that I would hit harder enemies later in the game, and I just didn't really. Shotgun probably the best weapon I found for killing anything. And the most satisfying for sure. Like I didn't really like the grenade launcher, and obviously the rocket launcher. Like you use that like once at the end. I think a couple of folk will tell me you can like unlock the rocket launcher to use through the whole game, but you have to complete the game on under a certain time or on a certain mode or something like that. So I'm not going to do that. I've completed the game; it's done with. I will move on because I did not like the controls, but I did like the atmosphere, and I like the setting and the vibe of the whole thing, and the monsters and the characters were a bit kind of. I like the design of the characters, but their actual characterization in the game wasn't great because obviously the voice acting was garbage. But it's from like the 90s, and even though I'm not sure if the voice lines are straight out of that first game, are they redone for the remake?
More the redone, but they're more or less the same voice lines as they were read. That wooden sort of cheesy
Easy way
B horror movie style. 2 and 3 remake that you're playing are
completely different, I would imagine. Yeah. So I'm looking forward. I've got 2, like I've picked up 2, so I'm going to play that soon. I don't know that I'll jump straight into it because I want to try and like get through a couple of really like simple games that are short, just to get back on track with my list of games to complete for the year because I'm way behind now. Like mostly that's because of Elden Ring, to be fair. But this Resident Evil game has slowed me down, definitely as well. So I'm looking to just knock out a few kind of easier games now. But yeah, Resident Evil HD, I really liked it, and I'm excited to play the better ones. And I'm glad I completed it because there was some really cool stuff in it. Like I liked the way that they had those little like books and stuff that you picked up, and it gave you this kind of weird story. I liked all that shit, like the world building in it, really good, and like the mystery with Umbrella and everything, really cool. Some of the monsters in it are really cool.
This is what I hoped you would get from the first one.
Yeah.
At least you like the world, the monsters, the lore. Because the rest of that game in this day and age is, sorry, Resident Evil people, it's garbage at this point. Everything else forward is fine. Not the biggest fan of 4 or 6, but 2, 3, and 5, really good games. 7, phenomenal game. Can't wait till Andy gets there. He will be streaming it. I need him to stream it. It's the whole reason that I'm pushing for this. I need him to play Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 8, for those who want to know, I have pre-ordered the DLC, which is out next week, I believe, mostly so that I can start the game in third person, because that game does not suit the first person because there's more action in it. It's not a scary game, and it just doesn't work. But the fact that Andy likes the lore, the characters, and everything, that set you up good going forward with Resident Evil. Like, you're going to love 2, probably going to be your favorite. 3 is my favorite, and I really like the remake. And then 4 is obviously like next March, April-ish. Don't know if it's been confirmed.
So in two, like who's the main character in 2 then? Is it Jill?
No.
Or is this the one with Claire?
Claire, Chris's sister, and Leon Kennedy.
Leon Kennedy, okay, yeah. Because like I played 2 on the PS1.
Which is almost my son's name.
Yeah. I played 2 on the PS1 for maybe 20 minutes. And probably 20 years ago, or whenever it came out.
So you played the original, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
But 2 is a completely different game.
For 20 minutes.
So you barely made it to the police station.
Yeah, I don't even know if I did. And I did play the demo of Resident Evil 2 Remake.
So I haven't finished. Never finished 0, but I finished 1, 2, 3. Not finished the remake of 2 though, or the remake of 1, but it doesn't really matter. 1's more like the original. 2 and 3 are like different games.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
4 never finished. Didn't really enjoy it. 5 I finished. 6 I finished. Or did it turn out I didn't finish 6 because I had 1 level left? But anyway, 6 I've basically finished. 7 I finished, and 8 I gave up on. Revelations 1 I just completed as well. So I would like to tick them all off because I obviously love this series as well. But
just a thought here for you. Resident Evil 6, right?
Yep.
Did you play that on PS3 or 360?
PS3. I played most of my Resident Evils on PlayStation.
Because Resident Evil 6, I'm sure that's on PS Plus Premium
I own it.
through streaming. No, I know, but I'm sure it's on streaming. So you could go back and get your save through that. If your save is on the cloud,
I own it, and I've got it in PS4 version, so I have.
No, but you said if you were on the last level, you could just go back and finish
I'm near enough in the last level, but I can already do it because I own the PS4 version. It was the PS4 version I played.
Got you. Okay.
I never played it on the PS3. Sorry if that's what I said.
Okay.
No, I started in the PS3 and then didn't play it. I played Resident Evil 5. I played in the Xbox for some reason, but I own them all on both consoles anyway.
But my aim is to play through 2 and 3 before the 4 remake comes out, because I'd like to play that. Purely because like there's so many people that say like Resident Evil 4 is like the best game ever,
it's
and
not.
Like no, but there's so many people that say it, so I feel like I should play it.
But these are the same people that said 5 was too actiony when it's the same fucking game but better. Like these people are stupid, Andy.
Well, I mean,
it's not going to. Like, so your favorite game of all time is like Final Fantasy. Here's the context: you like Final Fantasy 7. You like The Witcher 3. You like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You like Last of Us 2. This isn't as good as Last of Us 2.
Okay.
No way is it as good. I can't speak for the remake, but the original, all these people, they were blown. These are the same people that Grand Theft Auto 4 still in the top 10 games of all time. Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like Grand Theft Auto 4.
Fucking happy paid journalists back.
But yeah, so like I've never played Resident Evil 4 at all, so I will play it when it comes out and see what all the fuss has been about, or the remake anyway. The
reason that I hated it so much was because I'm like, this isn't fucking scary.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, I mean I don't want to be.
But here's the problem: this series is going to get you into a false sense of security, right? 2. I don't know. I didn't find any of them scary up to 7, but like 1 and 2 are kind of the same level. 3's a bit more actiony, but the same style as 2 and 1. 4, don't know what they're doing with the remake, but it was actiony. 5's actiony. 6 wasn't scary, and then 7's fucking terrifying. Probably the scariest game I've ever played, I would say. Yeah. Honestly, I cannot wait for you to get to that. Like, I don't even care if it's VR and you play it. I had to play it in the daytime. Honestly. Game's fucking, and it's the PS5 version. I still need to go back and finish the Chris Redfield DLC for that, but like 7's such a good experience, man.
If I was playing the VR version, it wouldn't be the PS5 version, it'd be the PS4 version.
You don't play the VR version, you don't need to play the VR version, you would give up on that too quick.
Probably within about 5 fucking seconds.
Plus, you can't play it anymore anyway because it doesn't work on PS5. You need to get Bethany's PS4 and.
No, it would work because I've got the camera adapter for the PS VR. So it would
work the VR. I was meaning with the VR2. Sorry, it doesn't work with VR2.
Yeah, it doesn't work with VR2.
But no, don't play it in VR. You stupid. Don't play that.
I think I want to try it in VR, like just to see how scary it is.
Or you need to then buy the PS4 version and get the free upgrade rather than buy the PS5.
Yeah, that's all I'll do. That's fine. It's cheap. But yeah,
anyway, it's good that you like it. Really good.
Yeah, Resident Evil HD, liked it. Didn't love it, but I'm glad it's over, and now I can move on to the games that I actually want to play. That's probably why I struggled with it, because like I wasn't that excited to play this game because I wasn't that into it. Like I liked, like I said, I liked aspects of it, but I wasn't like, oh, this game I'm really enjoying playing it. It was like, I need to get through this game to play the next games that I feel like I will enjoy. So,
did you ever get scared of the box art when you were wee? Like the box art was scary with Chris looking like.
Yeah, I mean it looked freaky, but like when I was wee, I never bought.
That's the hero.
I never bought this game when I was wee. We rented it from Blockbuster several times, so we never got the box art. It was just like the Blockbuster case. So I maybe I saw the box art. I can't remember. But yeah, I more remember being scared by the fucking dogs in the original game.
You get scared by the dogs in this one.
I did get jump scared by them. The tentacle was the worst thing though. Multiple times the fucking tentacle scared the shit out of me. That was definitely the worst thing.
Tentacles.
Yeah, the tentacle pops up out the ground. Terrifying, man.
I don't remember that. Oh, the plant.
No, not the plant. Like the plant. Like, well, I suppose it is part of the plant, but it's like it comes up through the floor. There's like a hole in the floor.
No, that's Chris's horrifying face.
It's horrible, yeah. Like what? This is the hero of the game. Like
that's the hero. He looks like one of the monsters there.
Yeah.
Like what is that? And look at his horrible looking arms, like he's infected. His face is all messed up, and he looks scarier than the actual monsters there.
Yeah. I did rescue him, which I believe is optional.
I don't think so. I think Barry's optional.
Yeah, Barry's optional. I didn't shoot him
because I didn't rescue Barry when I played through the original.
Yeah, because like there's an option to like give him his gun back or something. I think if you don't give him his gun back, I think he dies. I gave him his gun back. I was nice to him. But I think that's cool that the game from this time had a choice like that in it.
Oh yeah, but for me, that messed me up when I was younger because I can't remember what game it was I played, and Barry was suddenly there. I'm like, he's dead, because in my head, back then I wasn't aware of multiple endings. I mean, I played the original Resident Evil. I don't know if I was 20 yet, but anyway, I played it before I cared about all that sort of stuff, and I just played it and beat it.
Yeah,
that was my ending. Played through as Chris, rescued Joe, Barry was dead. So see when he was alive again, I was like, how's this guy? How's it? And people listening must realize this is pre-internet sort of days. This was like, there was game facts maybe at best that came on like this, and that was it. But like, nah, I didn't understand how Barry was alive. I'm like, he died in Resident Evil. And obviously now I know that there's a canon ending and then there's other endings. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I finished that. Obviously played Bayonetta. Like last week we played some Fortnite together last week.
Did we?
Yeah, because we didn't do the show last Tuesday, but we ended up playing some Fortnite instead.
Yeah, because I sat waiting for you, and then I took my stuff upstairs, and then came down and sat, and you went, "I can play now," and I'm like, "Of course you can." Yeah, Fortnite's new season's kind of boring, but there's that silver stuff. Weird.
Yeah, Chrome, like you can like turn into a gooey ball thing and bounce around.
I just don't think the maps are as interesting, like the areas of the map.
I liked it with those. The discoverability, like the things that you're discovering are not as interesting to discover as what they used to be at all. Like it was so fucking cool going around and finding all the Marvel shit. Like I loved that.
And the Star Wars stuff with the Mandalorian,
Star Wars
finding the huts,
cool as well. Yeah, and like even like the quest for the Beskar armor and all that was fun.
That'll be limited time for the license. They'll pay for this license for a limited time. For
sure, yeah. And it's maybe just that we don't give a fuck about the licenses that they're kicking around right now.
What is the license just now? There's like Gwen Stacy and that's it.
There's Dragon Ball Z and stuff floating around.
No, Dragon Ball was last season.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
So that's what I mean. Like, I usually like it with the licensed characters, and this time around, it's all Fortnite guys and Gwen Stacy, and I'm like,
I think that's what they're doing though. Like all the tiers apart from the last one are like just random guys, like random Fortnite made guys, and then their licensed character that you get as part of their battle pass is like someone cool that you'd want to get. And obviously you need to go through all 100 levels to do that. I would like to have the Gwen Stacy one.
She's level 100. See, to get Darth Vader. Oh my god! By the end, like, see if you're not playing this every night just as a habit, it's such a slog to get through it. I like dipping in and out of Fortnite, but I had to get Darth Vader, and I did get him. Even though you said you'll not get him, I did get him, but I won't use him. But I don't have it in me to do it for Gwen Stacy. I'm like, I've got the battle pass, like I've got the I still need to cancel my Fortnite monthly thing. I've no interest in Gwen Stacy. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Gwen Stacy. I think she's cool in the Spider-Verse movie. Comics, she's okay, but I have no interest in the character over in Fortnite. I'm like, I didn't even go for Spider-Man, so why am I going to do that for Gwen Stacy? But then there's nothing else.
Yeah, I might do it just if I take the notion to play a lot of Fortnite, maybe I'll do that. But I don't enjoy the questing as much now.
I just think previous seasons, I think before they tied the quests in with licenses a lot more, and it made it more fun with themed areas and stuff. Like the Terminator one and things like that, and the Alien one was fun. The Tomb Raider one was quite good as well. And it's like, why are you suddenly going slow in this stuff? It's not like you're running out of money. Like, get more licenses now. There's plenty more things I want to see. Repeat old ones that people are crying out for. Like, I know people that missed the Naruto. I missed it. And it's like, can we have that back, please? And they're like, no.
Even the paid skins and shit, like people, if you bring them back, people would buy them. 100%.
Because some of them only last like a couple of days. If you're on holiday and you don't have anything with you, you've missed it. Or you've just tuned out for a couple of days, like it's gone. And Fortnite's got a bad habit of, nope, it's gone forever. Why?
Yeah. I've been playing some Fall Guys as well, and like Fall Guys is kind of the same way where they've got like the skins that will go in for a couple of days, but I don't want to spend any money on any Fall Guys skins or any Fall Guys battle passes. Like I enjoy just playing that game for what it is, a free to play game. It's fun enough, but I will never ever spend any money on it ever.
I didn't like it. Lexi didn't like it either.
It's because it's hard. Like it's too hard for her age.
You think you're a better gamer than me?
No, not for you, for her.
30 hours Resident Evil boy.
It's too complex for like young kids, I think.
It wasn't that. There wasn't enough to do. Like Fortnite's complex for Lexi. But see, because there's a lot to see and do. This is just an obstacle course with like 100 folk running. She's no interest in that. She's like, why can't I just walk about if I want? I'm like, good point. It's just because this is what it is. So she likes Fortnite. She likes Splatoon, like, because you can just walk about. She likes games where you can just choose to. I don't want to do this right now. Fallout's like, no, there's your go. Whatever it's called, Fall Guys. There's your go. Go and do it.
Yep.
I don't like the mechanics. I don't like the floppiness of the characters. It's not funny to me. I'm just like, nah.
They put in like Ripley and the Xenomorph and stuff like that into it, but like they look all of the skin. The problem I've got with the skins in that game, everything looks so stupid.
Because it's all just a costume for your guy.
It's a costume for your guy, yeah. Like I like the costumes in Fortnite because it looks like you're playing as fucking Ant-Man. It doesn't look like I'm some guy dressed up as Ant-Man, or like it looks like I'm playing as She-Hulk or whoever.
Yeah, we spoke about that the other night. How Fortnite's biggest strength is the fact that Goku can play with like the Terminator with Han Solo running about and Silver Surfer.
Turtles haven't been in Fortnite, have they?
There's been rumors about them, and I will buy all 4 of them.
Yeah, I would buy all 4.
I will buy all 4 of them. I don't care if it's guns, but the thing is, it's Nickelodeon, that license. I don't know how strict they are with their stuff. Enough, and they've got their own Battle Royale. Not Battle Royale. They've got their own games. It just depends on like how they want to license it.
Do you know who else I would happily have in there? Fucking Final Fantasy characters like Cloud and Sephiroth and stuff like that. Like and Barrett. Like imagine Barrett with his gun arm. Like be so cool.
I'd play as just a Shinra soldier with the
fucking
Fisher goggles.
Vincent, like
with his hand cannon.
Yeah, like all that shit, man. Like that would be awesome.
Another game as well.
Squall. You put gunblades in there. Like it's so cool.
You're never getting Squall in the house because Squall's cool. I like Squall when he was in Kingdom Hearts. But
it's a fucking moody bastard.
If you say Final Fantasy to a non-fan, they're going to think of Cloud.
Yep.
9 times out of 10. I like Squall though. He was called Leon for some stupid reason in Kingdom Hearts though. I don't know what that was for.
I think it's some sort of weird translation thing from
because his name was Squall Lionheart, and I think the translation went back to Japan and back to us, and it came out as Leon. It's like his name's Squall.
It's stupid because
never finished it.
Me neither. Never finished it either.
But anyway, Fortnite's good, but this season's boring. So, I've got a problem.
What is it?
I've finished 24 games, Andy.
Oh my god! Already? Jesus.
So, here's my thing.
Double it!
No. I don't want to finish any more games.
Okay. Well, you're going to.
No. But I can't. I need to basically do nothing for 2 months because what's the point? I'm going to miss next year's list. So what is like? You've got about 40 games to go before you even hit that because you're minus something. But like, how do you? I don't want to finish a game and then it doesn't count for next year if we're doing 24 next year. I want if I'm finishing a game like Gotham Knights, for example. How do you want to work that? I don't want it to be an initial game. I don't want it to be 25.
I mean, I'm on 16, right? So like, I'm only 8 to go. Like, and there's a couple of games where I'm like, I could probably finish them in a couple of days.
We've got 2 months, Andy.
Yeah. 2 months, that's fine.
But you can't do cheat games. You can't just do books.
No, I'm not. I won't do books. I haven't counted the books things that I've played already.
Because I took mine out, as you know, whatever one it was that I played.
Yeah. They like I'm gonna play Stray. Like I'm gonna finish that because that's quite a short game. It's maybe like 4 hours, and I've already put 2 hours into it, so I'm like halfway through with that.
Yeah, but my question is, can I roll these over to next year?
No, that doesn't count.
So I'm not playing anything to the end of the year.
No,
you won't. So Gotham Knights can wait till January.
So last year, or it was what 12 games we were to complete.
Yeah.
So hold on, right? I completed 16 games last year, and I counted them all towards last year. I didn't roll
I
them
know,
over.
but I play better games than you.
No. I played last year. I'll give you my list: Yakuza Like a Dragon, The Medium, Gears of War 3, Gears of War Judgment, Maquette, Gears of War 4, Assassin's Creed
Yeah, but
Valhalla,
here's the
Mass
thing, Andy.
Effect, Mass Effect 1.
Listen, I finished all those Gears games, but I couldn't add them because I completed them already.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So I
12
do finish
minutes.
more than better games.
Bloodborne,
12
like
minutes.
Judgment,
Bloodborne,
Watch
you were
Dogs 2.
40 hours in already. Watch Dogs
I
2,
still
you were
finished
halfway
it.
through.
Life is Strange,
Superliminal
True
wasn't a long
Colors,
game.
Metroid
Life is
Dread,
Strange is not a long game.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Galaxy, it's not a long game.
Like, these are... But some of these games are huge. Like Assassin's Creed
But
Valhalla.
anyway. Okay, then if I can't carry them over, Elden Ring doesn't count as one of your games. It only counts for your bonus challenge.
What? I mean...
If I can't roll over, why would the fuck would I want to finish Sonic Frontiers and Gotham Knights if I can't roll over
you might not finish them.
I will. Plus, anyway, right.
Anyway,
so
you've easily done 24 games this year, like way ahead. So there's nothing to say that you won't be able to complete 24 games easily again next year.
Right. So here's the problem as well, because Monkey Island, the new one, really wanted it, bought it, and then I was like, did I just watch a recap on YouTube? And I went, no, you fucking don't. You've got the special edition. Play the special edition. I finished the first one. Like I finished that years ago. I know the story. I love the special edition. If anybody listening's never played Monkey Island, go on your Xbox and buy it because the special edition's there of the first two. You don't need to worry about all the 6 other Monkey Island games because the new one just forgets about them and takes place after 2. So
okay,
started playing 2 because I want to play this new one, which is technically 3 now, and it's so fucking good, right? But there's no logical solution to like even the earliest of puzzles. There's nothing that makes sense. It's just like it could be right. Take these baby wipes and sit it on top of that light when the guy walks out the screen, and you'll get a frog. And then you take the frog and you wrap it up in gift paper and put cheese on top of it and hand it to the butcher, and then the trapdoor will open. That's the sort of solution. So what I've realized for Monkey Island is you need to have a guide. And you need to have a guide,
100%.
and I've looked it up. But here's the thing, Andy: it's not a spoiler story guide. It's just a telling you. And literally, the guide I'm reading is take apple to like say fence, move shovel to sand, and it doesn't tell you any of the story that happens in between it. It's just telling you the next step if you get stuck. There is occasionally parts where I'm like, oh, obviously I need to do that. Obviously I need to do that. But then sometimes the solution was like, tie the string to the box and sprinkle cheesy crisps next to it to trap the rat. And then you needed to take the rat and put it in the chili to get the chef sacked so that you could get a job, get paid, sneak out the window. And I'm like, but there's no way of figuring that out. There's no way. Okay, there's maybe some parts that you could figure
trial and error, maybe.
Yeah, but literally trial and error. And this game's not. It's like
with every fucking item. Yeah, because you get hundreds of items. Yeah, hundreds of locations you could put those items into. Like,
So the easiest way to do it is just look at. And guess what? I was actually having fun. I don't usually use a guide, but because this was a story-free guide, and it was literally like if I was stuck at chapter 3, it was like I'm stuck just now. Like I'm on chapter 3. I think there's 4 or 5 chapters. It's not a long game. And it's literally like you're in the jail. And there's a dog with a key. And it's like I can throw the ball, but then I can't pick up the key before the dog gets back. And it's like there's obviously some stupid solution. So I'm going to have to look up the guide tonight to pass that. And the thing is, I was asking on Xbox Hub the other day, like, has anyone played the new one? Because it's only on Switch and PC. Is it as difficult? And somebody said it's a bit more logical. And I says, I would rather be able to figure it out and go,
definitely.
Then this one's like, wait, there was one point where I had to go to the swamp, fill the bucket up with swamp water, scare a guy out of his apartment, sneak into the apartment, and he came back in. And if you didn't do this quick enough, you would have to leave the place and come back. So you had to go into his bedroom, close the door behind you, take your bucket of swamp water and put it on top of the door. You had to make sure you hid behind his dresser so he didn't bump into you. And while he was behind his dresser, you had to wait till he shouted at you, and then he went to the cleaners. Then you had to go to the cleaners and listen to him shout at the cleaner, go back to his room, shut the door again to get the note to pick up his clothes, and then go back to the cleaners. And it's like, none of, like, literally, see, back in the day, I've got so much respect for these PC players that were literally clicking on every element of that screen to figure out what to do, because some of it is like,
It's not logical at all.
It's not logical. So,
no.
like, there's no way for me to do that enjoyably without a guide. And I'm kind of glad to hear the new one's logical. But I would highly recommend, like, if you've never played it, Andy, I honestly think you would love these games. I think you can get them on the cheap. They're 360 games, but see, because they've got the new graphics and it's got the thing where you can swap to the old, like, 8-bit, 4-bit, whatever the graphics were.
Plus, they're 2D games, so they age way better.
Yeah. So these are like the special editions that came out in the 360. So they're kind of they look like comic art almost. Like really nice. And then the new one follows on from them. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. I just haven't got to it yet. But now that Andy's been a fucking gatekeeper for games for next year, I'm going to have to play it. So the next game that I'm nearly going to finish, but I put on hold as well, was Samus Returns, because I was in a Metroid mood, as you know, Andy. And I found another Metroid. I took ages to try and find this bloody Metroid. I'm like, I've no idea what it is. And then I forgot, if you've got a DNA, or if you've got DNA of a Metroid in your gun, you need to take it back to the big wheel thing and put it in, and it pings the next Metroid. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was wandering about aimlessly in Metroid, like, what the fuck is this now? Samus Returns it's like the Sonic 1 to Metroid Dread Sonic 2, so it's got some less features, like you can't slide, which is annoying when you're running. But it's still quite a good game because the graphics are similar and it's fun. So I've got like 8 Metroid to go, I think, and I really wish they would move it to Switch. I really wish they would move, because the 3DS isn't comfy for long gaming sessions.
No.
Especially, I'm actually at a boss battle just now that's really tough. And it was one of those, like, and it's the first time this game's properly reminded me of Metroid Dread, where it's been like, you know, when you get to a boss in Metroid Dread, and you're like, I can't do this. There's no way to beat this guy because he just wipes out in like 2 seconds. But then you start learning a bit more of his pattern and you make it through the first phase and you're like, okay, that's good. And then the second phase, he fucks you, he wipes you out, and you're like, I can't do this. Like, this boss is impossible. And you put the game down, you go back the next day, and you get through his first phase okay. And then you realize his pattern for the second one. I'm on one of those bosses, right?
It's so cool when you beat those bosses, though. It's fucking awesome.
So good. And I know the feeling's going to be there, but I must have died like 10 times.
Yeah.
Like 5 of those times, I'm like, I can't even hit him. I don't even know how to hit him.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, I can get him to his third phase. And it's now at the point where it's like, I know how to do it. I just need to manage my resources a bit better because I'm using my missiles maybe too early and stuff like that. And I could probably shoot them at the easier stage. And then there's the slow down time mechanic I need to use. But because I'm playing it on the 3DS, it's even trickier because your hands are kind of like this. The buttons are so small. And it's really, really getting to me at this point. I'm like, I just want to beat them because I am enjoying this game. But it's just highlighted even more why the Switch needs a Metroid 2D collection. And I mean, like, Metroid 1, 2, 3, 4, like 1 up to Fusion in a collection. And it needs the remakes. It needs like Zero Mission, which was the remake of 1. It needs Samus Returns, which is all of them together with art galleries. Charges fucking 50 quid. I would buy it. Honestly, if you package them all together, including Samus Returns, the new one on the 3DS, I would buy it instantly. And it makes a no-brainer because it doesn't look like Prime's anytime soon. And Metroid Dread sold well. This guaranteed would sell well. I honestly would. And there's something they could do for very little cost. Get an intern to design a menu, chuck in some bonus options, port over the Game Boy game, the NES game, Super Metroid, the Fusion, Samus Returns from the 3DS. It's literally port it over and turn the 3D off. It's not difficult. Job done. You've got them all. You don't even need to upscale them. So anyway, so that was that one. But you can understand why I didn't want to finish any games. And then I did, but you never asked. You never asked the most important question, Andy. What game did you finish?
What game did you finish?
I finished a game that I'd been stuck at for 5 years.
For 5 years? I don't know. I don't even know what it is.
I don't know. So, let me just get this. Like, honestly, the game, it was good.
Is it a Souls game?
Define a Souls game.
Like Dark Souls?
I wouldn't ever say I was stuck at Dark Souls. Personally. I don't think I was stuck at Dark Souls anyway.
Doom?
No, but I should go back to that.
No, because you were stuck on that.
Yeah, I was stuck at. I'm still stuck at. I'm not. It's not that I'm stuck at Doom. I just haven't. went back to it. I got stuck at a part, and it was Doom 2016, and I did get stuck at that. Where was it? I get stuck at it was Mars. The second time you go to Mars,
Right.
and I just haven't went back to it. And I really want to play the sequel because I did like Doom, but I've never went back to it for.
I don't know. Then I'm not sure.
So just give me a minute, and I'll get back to you. I just need to open up one thing.
The suspense is killing me.
Should kill you.
I mean, I should know what game it is, and as soon as you say what it is, I'll be like, of course.
You should know.
Yeah.
But because you don't, I'm gonna have to.
Because Mass Effect Andromeda, you didn't finish, but did you finish it? No. You didn't finish it. But you weren't stuck at that.
I wasn't stuck at that either.
No.
But Mass Effect Andromeda's, you're right. I should go back to one. However, I haven't went back to Mass. I can't remember. You finished Mass Effect Andromeda, in fact, I think.
Yeah, I did. I finished it.
I did not. I would finish one of them at one point, but not anymore. But anyway, here we go.
Oh, well, yeah, we were talking about this the other day. Yeah, God of War.
Elevators.
Simulator. Nice.
And obviously, yes, I did walk all the way back to the house, but that is basically it. Do you know what? The game is fantastic. I did like the story. There was nothing difficult about the game except that one elevator sequence.
Section. Yeah, definitely.
And everything else in the game was pretty easy. I don't even think it had a particularly exciting. Like, see the last fight with Baldur. I thought, because I've played the older God of War games, although I've never finished 3 or 2 or Ascension. I only really finished 1. I've played them all though. But like, I just thought, see when Freya, Baldur's mum, took over the big giant, I thought you were going to have to fight that because that's more God of War to fight than.
Definitely.
Nope, all she keeps doing is putting her hand. So I will say I was a bit disappointed at that. And then once you beat him, I'm like, he can't be the last boss. He was. And then it's just a walking simulator up a mountain.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's like, and I get it's a different kind of game, but there was more epic fights at the start of the game with things.
For sure, yeah.
And they never really had that epic last moment in my mind. And this isn't, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from this game because it's one of the best games I've played. Like, honestly, it's not the same as the old God of Wars because the old God of Wars were more in line with Bayonet and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I can slash,
but the story in this was great, and it's the only way you really could have. You didn't need the boy in it, but I understand what they're doing with it now because obviously he's going to take over eventually because he's like a teenager in the next one.
Yeah.
But like, by the end of this, Kratos started talking about if I've got strength left in me, and like, you kind of get the hint. And the fact he kept talking about killing his dad, I'm like, are you just trying to get him to kill you, Kratos? Like, because that's what it sounds like to me. But anyway, I enjoyed it, and obviously Kratos had killed basically all the Greek gods, so it's like, well, what else does he do? So they moved him to like kill all the Norse gods now, but he's not really wanting to kill them. I don't know. By the end of it, I was like, like. It wasn't an epic enough fight at the end. Like, genuinely, I wanted to fight that giant. And sometimes by that point in the game, I'm just like, just let me finish. But I wasn't. I was enjoying it. So I'm like, I need like a 3-stage fight. And okay, Baldur, and you fight over 3 stages, but basically the ice gets broken, and then you fight on the back of the monster, and that's it. But I thought we're going to have to fight that big thing because that's God of War. Like, God of War doesn't mean fighting a wee fucking skinny guy that thinks he's hard. Like, and Kratos was clearly holding himself back for the whole game. And so much for you. Like, the fucking blades, it's about 70% of the way through the game. You're like, you get them early on. You don't get them early on. It's 70% of the way through because I looked up the chapter number at that point. And I'm like, I have a look at like 3-4 chapters left and I've just got my blades. You do use that shitty axe for most of it. But
I like the axe, to be honest. I really like the axe.
Once you get the blades, it does improve combat slightly, but it's not as fluid and fast. And I know Kratos is older, but it's a different combat system in this one. Definitely. It just doesn't feel as fast and everything as the blades in the old one. But
in the new game, you should have those from the start, I think.
Well, my thought is that it's going to start with a fight with Thor, obviously. Like, because you keep seeing, the thing is, they don't show you everything in the trailer, and they keep showing you the fight with Thor, like Kratos fighting Thor. So that has to happen either in a cutscene or it's the first fight of the game.
I think it's the first fight of the game, like, probably.
Because at the end of the last game, Thor comes to your door.
Yeah.
And even
He's
though
he's clearly there to fucking fight you. Like,
yeah, he's going to fight you. So I think you're going to beat him. But I also think in this game, you know, in that game there where you could fireware trace and that was basically it. Well, I think in this game, you're going to be able to swap to a trace because I think he's going to take Mjolnir. I think he's going to take Thor's hammer and he's going to have the throwing mechanic. I think your axe is going to get broken. And I think Kratos is going to have the blades of chaos and Atreus is going to have Mjolnir and you're going to have to swap between them for puzzles. I genuinely think that's what's going to happen.
Makes sense.
Because I think they're going the way where God of War 6, because this is God of War 5, God of War 6 is going to be Atreus as the main character, I think, or even 7. So if Kratos doesn't die in this one, it'll be the next one. And I think they need to have him, they're going to have him having a hammer. And what better way to do it than when they beat Thor, he takes Mjolnir. But during that fight, the ice axe gets snapped. I think that's what's going to happen. And then that gives you a reason to swap between them. So say you've got the spike things you have to, freeze the target on because we can't have puzzles too hard in these games. And like you have to hit the fucking shield that's on every spike trap and every tempo in this game. You'll swap to Atreus. And then if you've got to do fighting, you'll be Kratos. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Makes sense. I could see it happen.
So yeah, I did pre-order God of War.
Ragnarok. Cool, nice.
Yeah, I didn't see that at the start. I stopped myself. So I was like, what else did I pre-order? Oh, nothing. Because I wanted to say about it. But yeah, God of War is the game that got me back to PlayStation. Because you remember how disappointed I was with PlayStation 4 Pro. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I sold my PlayStation. I didn't have one for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then they showed off God of War during those 6 months. I'm like, this looks amazing. I bought the white one with God of War. And I was tanking my way through it. And there was nothing that tripped me up in this game. Because I look back on like a guide. And I'm like, yeah, I remember that. Nothing messed me up in this game until that fucking elevator. Yeah. And I don't know what it was about it. And then I don't even know what I did different the time that I beat it. I managed to do it in time.
Did you change the difficulty or anything? No?
No, just left it normal.
See the elevator, right? Which elevator was it you get stuck at? Because there's two elevators. So, there's the one that's the boss rush where it goes to the different doors and all the bosses come in.
Didn't get stuck at that. Stuck at that.
So is it the one where the things are climbing up on it then?
It's the one where it's fallen.
Yeah. Okay.
And you've got a timer.
Yep.
Because seeing the one where it's the boss rush, the sort of gauntlet, you don't get a timer in that. You just have to beat them and move on.
Yep.
This one's got a timer. And for some reason, I would get through them. None of them would kill me. I wouldn't die. The time would run out and I would go, no. And the elevator would fall. And I'm like, I'm doing it as fast as I fucking can. And I don't know what happened the last time I played it. I managed to just beat them all. And I'm like, because I had to look up, do I remember all the moves? And I went through all the menus. I went to tutorial and I'm like, nope, know all the moves. I watched videos on it. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything different here. And I don't know what it was. Every time it ran out of time. I never died once. I never died. It just, the in-game timer to the insta-death just hit every single time. And the elevator would fall. And that was just normal mode. I was playing it hard. And once that was done, the rest of the game was a breeze. And I finished it in a night and a half.
Nice.
Night and a half. And it was done.
I'm glad you finished it because that game's a good game.
I'll tell you something. It looks beautiful, even though it didn't have a PS5 patch. That game looks fucking phenomenal. So see all these folks saying, "Oh, PS4 version will hold back." No, it won't. No, Ragnarok's not getting held back by that because the original game looks stunning anyway. And if they've gave any PS5 extra features to this one, that's going to look even more incredible. That's the game, Andy, that could be Elden Ring for you this year.
Fair, yeah, maybe. Yeah,
because from what I hear, it's 40 hours. And when they say 40 hours, most folk, that's just like a bare minimum run through.
And as we know, I am big on story games, and there is a good story in this game.
They've also said it's 4.5 hours of cutscenes.
Nice, that's cool.
4.5 hours.
Everything I'm hearing about it looks good. I don't need to watch any trailers of that. I'm going to buy this game and probably love it.
I haven't watched one trailer, obviously, because I'm like, I like God of War. But I haven't finished 4 yet. And one day I need to go back to it. And it was the other night. I was like, I'd finished off a review for some, maybe Session. Or maybe Temtem. No, it wasn't Temtem. What was that thing? Temakin, the kind of Pokemon game. I reviewed that as well. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
I finished that. I'm like, I need something. And I put it on my PlayStation. I'm like, do you know what? I honestly thought about selling my PlayStation 5 the other night. I was like, there's nothing here. There's nothing for me. And then God of War came up. And that's one of the things that keeps me on PlayStation. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, you do like God of War. And I'm like, but it's not as good as Bayonetta, but it's because it's a different game now. I was having one of those arguments with myself. And then I put on God of War and I was like, oh, it still looks lovely. But I'm still in this fucking lift. Honestly, that lift took me maybe 2 hours. And that's not including all the times.
Okay.
Even before, I don't know what was going wrong, Andy, because I never struggled with any other bit of the game. And I wasn't
funny
struggling.
Because like that's like me though. Like I struggled massively with Margit, and you got through it piss easy, and like I got through that lift no problem.
Very different games. Elden Ring's much harder.
Well, sure, yeah, but like I got that lift that you're talking about. I got through that no issue.
But like I couldn't understand what was going wrong.
I think I died once from that.
I didn't die from that lift.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Falling, like
from the fall. Yeah, it's because the lift's going dun dun dun. I was rushing through them as fast as I could. I was killing them all. Like obviously you don't have the Blades of Chaos at that point, but I was chop, doing my twirly move, doing my slam, freezing them, pushing them, kicking them off, and then just one time randomly, I beat one guy and it went, whew, it's over, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But I went, thank fuck, and then do you know what? For the next 2 nights, I really enjoyed that game, Andy. I really enjoyed that game. But it's such a shame that it took me so long. But it's like, at that point, I was like, I'm not bad at games because I beat Metroid Dread. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm okay. I'm not a great gamer. I would say I'm a good average gamer. I'm okay. I don't struggle. You could hand me a game and a controller and I'd figure out the controls, right? But when it came to God of War, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And still, just now, I do not know what I did wrong. But yeah, like I said, I could have probably finished the game a lot quicker if it had allowed me to just beat that part. And I like I said, it didn't change anything. Just one random time, I killed one enemy and it went, it's over. And I'm like, haven't I just done this over and over, like the same exact way?
Okay.
I don't know what was wrong with it, but everything else went smooth. But it's not a difficult game at all. It really isn't. There's not one bit in that game that I found tricky. Like, puzzles are all pretty fucking obvious because the head shouts it, the boy shouts it, or the camera points you to it. And it's not like Zelda where it's like, oh, you go figure it out. This is very much like, what do we do now, Dad? And it's like the camera goes up towards a bright green thing. And it's like, oh, there. I guess I get the green thing. But I mean, no, really good.
I think the real challenge in that game comes from the Valkyrie bosses, like that are optional.
The elevator.
No, not the elevator. Like there's Valkyrie bosses that you can fight that are optional that are kind of like.
See, I hadn't been to them because it popped up at the end. Obviously, all this stuff I could do now. New game plus blah blah blah. And it was like, and before it says it's recommended before you take on the Valkyries to finish a second playthrough of the game to get your skills up to the right level. And I'm like, don't really want to play through it again. But then there's like 2 areas I haven't even visited, like 2 optional kind of areas. I don't know if it's realms, but 2 areas that are available because it shows you the map at the very end. And I'm like, it's too late now. I said maybe if the elevator I'd got by it back then, I would have probably been interested enough to explore. But you've got like a month and the new game's out. I ain't doing this.
No, you finished it. It's done. Move on.
Yeah, it's done now. Great game though, like really good game. If you're stuck at the elevator, I don't even have any tips because I just kept doing the same thing over and over. And at one point, the last guy I killed, instead of it going, "Oh no, Dad," it went, "Thank goodness that's over." And I'm like, I didn't believe it at first. I was like, stopped in my tracks. Like, what's happened here then? Story progress, but yeah, really good game. I do think it's pointing towards Kratos dying. I really do. Just some of the things he said at the end, but Kratos has died in God of War before. He's died several times over the years, so he could die in this one and then come back in the third one quite easily because they did say this was a trilogy. So say they kill him off halfway through this and folk are mad, they can easily bring him back in the third one.
Yeah, like, and they might very well do that. Like, we'll see.
Yeah, so I finished that. I was really happy with finishing that, and like I did it in time. So I pre-ordered God of War, whatever it's called. I keep saying Valhalla. It's not God of War Valhalla. It's Ragnarok.
It's Ragnarok, yeah.
And the cool thing is, at the end of this, they even spoke about Ragnarok because when you get back from fighting Baldur, the 2 wee dwarf guys that make the weapons say to you that more time's passed than you realise. Brothers, enough snow has fallen to bring on Ragnarok, and it's all snowy everywhere. And Thor, if Thor shows up at your door, but then Atreus wakes up and says he had a dream about Thor showing up at the door, and he thinks it was the future. But I don't get the whole like he's Loki now. Why Why is he Loki now? Like,
Is God of War Ragnarok? Is that one of the ones with the free upgrade? I think it
no
is.
idea. I just bought the PS. It must be because see when I bought it, it just said PS4 and PS5. There wasn't like a dual edition because I just got the standard edition on PS5 digital, and it's just PS4 and PS5. I'd imagine it is, so you might be able to save a $5 on it.
It's actually like a tenner.
That's not bad.
In fact, more than that, $52.95 from Amazon for PS4, and then PS5 is $64.95. So
It's a free upgrade. It'll be worth
it's
it.
a free upgrade,
Again, though, this is a busy we've got 2 weeks of Cam, and then you've got like Gotham Knights. Then
£10 upgrade. There's a price of an upgrade, £10 extra. So I'll just buy PS5.
Yeah, so there's so we've got a few weeks, and then it's Gotham Knights and Bayonetta 3, and then like the week after that, there's Sonic Frontiers, God of War Ragnarok, and then all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Honestly, and there's none of those that I want to balance the others with because Gotham Knights I need to play. Sonic's one that I can probably buy and dip in and out of. Like it's not going to take a lot of my. Well, again, it's Breath of the Wild still. Bayonetta 3 is probably one I'm going to play over time. So God of War I'll probably sink more time into, and then when you're free, we'll play Gotham Knights.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm so excited. It's like, why could you fuckers not spread these games out throughout the rest of the year when there's nothing else out?
Like 6 months ago, or like even this month,
3 months ago,
month,
this month. But no, we've got 4 top games coming out within 2 weeks of each other. In fact, Sonic Frontiers is out on like the 8th of November, and God of War's out on the 9th.
Yeah.
So like you've got one day of Sonic and then God of War's out, but like the week before that Bayonetta 3's out, and the week before that Gotham Knights is out. Like let's just check up before we finish the release schedule for this year. It's absolutely insane. So I forgot to put my ticker on. God of War completed. Oh well. So 2022 video game release schedule. So what do we got? What do we got to show this one? Right, let's go. Get that off. Stop screen. Yeah, I'm happy I went back to God of War though. Really happy.
Yeah, definitely. That's good.
And see, as I was playing it, I'm like, you should have just stuck with it. But there was no guarantee. There was no guarantee I was going to beat that lift until that one time, that one precious time. So here's our. So what month are we on now? October.
Yep.
Okay, so obviously the big one is Gotham Knights, as you can see there. Overwatch 2, Car Desert Rally, Deathverse, Let It Die, Medieval Dynasty, Nier Automata on the Switch, No Man's Sky Switch. Crap. No More Heroes 3, there you go. No More Heroes 3 is out in October the 11th. It's already been in Switch for a year. Lego Bricktales is out Saturday. That's weird. Fueled Up, Triangle Strategy, Dragon Ball, NHL, I'm not getting yet. To PGA Tour, not getting. Scorn, I'm interested.
The Tiger Woods one. Scorn's on Game Pass, so
yeah, this is Tiger Woods.
Plague Tale's very soon.
Game Pass as well, so it doesn't matter.
Game Pass as well. Yeah.
Ghostbusters, I'm interested in. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. Want to play that. I'm not dying to play it. Mario and Rabbids is not one for me till it goes on sale. Second extension's not for me. Gotham Knights, that's my first proper big one. Gotham Knights. I know you've got Plague's Tale as well.
Oh, New Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say to you. The same day.
I didn't even realize it was coming out like then. Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's the same fucking day, man. So then we've got Bayonetta 3 a week, 7 days after Gotham Knights. 28th, we've got Bayonetta 3. I'm not playing this, and Fraser was going on about pre-ordering it. I'm like, mate, it'll be free in Game Pass by March.
Yep. Just wait.
And then obviously the 28th as well is the DLC for Resident Evil, as I spoke about. That's not important. Then we've got November, right? Yeah. So that's where it starts. So we've got Gotham Knights. So you can already see there they're starting to build up. November, I forgot a fucking Pokemon November as well, isn't there? Not for you, but for me. You'll get your Football Manager, right?
Sonic Frontiers there, yeah.
Sonic Frontiers is the first week, November 8th, right there. And then look at November 9th, Andy. You've got God of War, the day fucking after. Yeah. So Sonic gets 1 day apiece. Whoever picked this date for Sonic hates Sonic.
Absolute
tool. Because even though that's one console, it's going to outsell Sonic by tons simply because of that. See if you'd released Sonic like last week, it would have sold more.
Yep.
Because there'll be folk looking at that going, okay, son, you can get one game. What one do you want? Sonic or God of War? I'll just get me God of War because that's what other kids are going to be talking about. So anyway, you God of War. For me, then a week fucking after that, 10 days, not even 10 days, 9 days, sorry, you get Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. Same day as that Dark Pictures anthology. New one for
the
me.
third one or the fourth one, for Andy. Yeah. And just Dan's obviously for Andy as well. I don't know if you're into this Warhammer 40,000.
Yes, but that is coming to Game Pass for Dark Tide, so that's fine.
So, okay, and then we get into December.
Midnight Suns is still coming out. Fucking hell.
Yeah, Midnight Suns is still coming out.
Oh yeah, because it's the current gen versions are coming out this year, and they delayed the last gen to next year.
I agree with that stance.
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
they're obviously. This is what CyberPunk should have done. Look, guys, we're having a problem with last gen. Next gen's ready if you want that, or we can just release the last gen version everywhere. And they decided to go for last gen everywhere. It didn't work. So you can see the problems there because I'm going to obviously want to start playing Resident Evil again now that the third person version's out.
Yeah,
you've got Bayonetta 3 just before that as well. You've got your Gotham Knights. So we've basically got, let's see how long of camp.
And you've got Garbage Pail Kids. Oh my god!
Not that anyone's wanting to see that. So, let's have a look. So this is the 5th. So we've got next week of cam, Andy. Like next week is sail away, sail away, sail away, and then the following week's Gotham Knights and it's game fucking on. So we've got like 1 week of Serenity. And then Gotham Knights, you've got your Tales from the Borderlands, Bayonetta 3, Resident Evil 8 proper version is what I'm calling it. And you've got Sonic Frontiers, God of War Ragnarok, Pokemon, Dark Pictures Anthology. Like, that's insane for 2 months. That's an insane 2 months, man.
What's December then? What's left to go in December then?
So, Callisto Protocol. But
Crisis Core, shit.
Crisis Core is December. It's only £50 digital. So yeah, you've got a big-ish Final Fantasy 7 game because that's about 20-30 hours there. Yeah. You'll still be playing the 40 hours of. I guarantee you'll still be playing God of War by then.
God of War for sure, yeah.
Yeah. By the time everything else comes out, I've got High on Life, which I'm so excited about. That's by
that's Game Pass at least, so there's no money. Yes, no money involved.
No, but Crisis Core is. But like that's all that's been announced at the moment. But I'm quite interested in Midnight Suns. Crisis Core is a probable, and High on Life. Like we've got 1 week, Andy, of just relax. Don't do it. Absolute insanity, man.
Don't buy any more games. Like, oh my god.
No, I'll need to get Pokemon. I have to.
No. I mean, next week, don't buy any more new games that come out that are already out. Don't do it.
Oh, I won't buy. Yeah. Sorry, you're absolutely right. No, but I won't. But PGA Tour 2K, you're right, is the Tiger Woods one. It also features Michael Jordan and Steph Curry. For some reason. Do you know what? Like, you could have a Space Jam career mode. Like, see if you put Michael Jordan in the baseball game, you could have like a cross game career mode. If you played him in the basketball, then the baseball, then the basketball, and then
kind
golf.
Of interesting, yeah.
You could do that. So yeah, like absolutely insane. Next few weeks, like I said, this is the 5th today, Wednesday.
Yeah,
the 5th
and I mean
now.
that's just the games that we're personally interested in. There's shitloads of other games there coming out.
Like there'll be people that like Nier, No Man's Sky, and the Switch is going to be huge for some to be able to play it in the toilet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No More Heroes 3, like okay, that's a big game. I'm interested in that.
Obviously, Call of Duty, like we're not bothered about, but like some people
but
will
Call
be
of
like,
Duty's
oh
huge. There's a Dragon Ball game in the middle of all this, Andy, as well, and that Triangle Strategy is coming out to PC.
Yeah.
NHL's in the middle of it. The new Nickelodeon kart racers. There's a golf game, which Ashley will probably pester you for at some point. There's a Ghostbusters game. Like, you know, there's a new Jackbox. People like that stuff. Like, and Uncharted coming to PC is a big thing. Like, I cannot believe what we've got coming up.
Star Ocean in there as well.
There's a Star Ocean game. A new Star Ocean game. It's mad. Like, and I can't, there's none of these that I can like say, okay, I want to put that aside for just now, because most of these games that I want to play right now, but I wish they spaced them out more.
Definitely, yeah.
Really
I mean, it's probably all to do with like COVID shit though. Like all the development of the games have been delayed a wee bit, so
Sonic Frontiers definitely, and God of War as well.
Yeah, definitely. They finally got them up to scratch and finished, and now they're like, cool, out it goes.
Release them.
Some of the games, obviously, they were planned always to come out at this time, like Call of Duty,
like Call of Duty, Pokemon, and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, it's just for us, it's a nuts few weeks, an absolutely insane few weeks, and we're not even buying everything. Because like I really liked Resident Evil 8. I'll stop sharing this. I just didn't think that the first-person camera suited it well for its action, because it wasn't an action first-person camera. It was like almost like a point and click style first person camera, because in 7 there's not a lot of combat. Do you know what I mean? It's more of a figure out puzzles, get out of the road style game. Use the environment sometimes to survive. Whereas 8 was you're going to have to fight like some werewolves now. It's like, I can't. Like, this is a shit camera. So now it's third person. It's going to make it better. Pokemon, I can't believe that's coming out. The only reason I'm excited for Pokemon is because of Legends.
Yeah.
Gotham Knights, that's going to be at least 30-40 hours.
Definitely.
Crisis Core we forgot about as well, coming out in like December. And I seen it last night in the store. It's only like 50 quid.
Yeah.
Because I do want to play Crisis Core.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely get that.
But if you're not getting Pokemon, God of War is probably your biggest game between now and December.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, Crisis Core, like, it's just a remaster sort of thing, so I've already played it. I mean, it looks cool what they've done with it, though, so I will get it.
I will get it, but I think
I'm not necessarily in as much of a rush to get that, like, day one and play it day one, given all those other games coming out that I are new games to me that I've never played before. If you've never played Crisis Core, though, like, I 100% tell you to buy Crisis Core like as soon as it comes out, because it's
one of the reasons I've still got a PSP.
Yeah, because they never put it anywhere else.
No,
you couldn't even buy it digital to play on the Vita.
Like, you couldn't even buy it digital. No, it was only on a UMD. And don't ask me how I've got it digital, but you killed my platform. I own it physical. I've got a UMD. It's not illegal to have a ROM for some you own.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love that game, though. It was so much fun, and the fact that they've modernized it slightly, and they said it's only a remaster. It looks kind of remade. Like, those graphics do not look like PSP graphics.
Yeah, no.
So they've done some tweaking to it, more than they want to admit. It's more like a Mass Effect remake. Remaster.
I would say so, yeah, definitely.
Because Mass Effect, it was like, hold on, that's borderline remake. And what they actually did with Mass Effect, the trilogy, which you also need to go back to finish, is they basically kind of made a 1.5 version of the engine, which didn't exist before. Like, they couldn't move it to Unreal 4.
Yeah.
But they made a 3.5 to push it as far as it could. So yeah, there's but we've had like an empty 3 months there since before the summer. There's been absolutely nothing really of note. It's been kind of feeling like an empty year since like April or May after Elden Ring came out. There's been nothing really. And now it's just like, I have everything within the space of 3 weeks. Have it all. And these aren't just small games. Pokemon's could go into the hundreds of hours. God of War, they're claiming 40 hours. Like, even fast players, that's at least going to be 30. So that's a big game. Because what was God of War just there? Maybe 20 hours, 15, 20 maybe for that God of War?
I think something like that, yeah, probably 20.
Yeah. So this is double the size of it. And then you've got, what else? We've got Gotham Knights. Easily a 30-hour game.
Yeah, it's not going to be short.
It's not going to be a short game, no, because it's going to be Arkham length. What else have we got going on? You've got your Tales of Borderlands. That's maybe about a 7-8 hour game.
Yeah, that'll be shortish,
Yeah. What have I got? High in Life, I think 15 hours for that one for me, because if it's kind of like
Plague Tale is probably maybe about 10-ish.
12,
something like
12, that. I would say 12 odd for Plague Tale. But so these are all insane hour games. Then Bayonetta 3, that's 30 hours right there, easily. I know you're still in Bayonetta 1, but for me,
I'm definitely not. Definitely, after looking at that, there's no way I'm buying Bayonetta 3 this year. 100% not.
See, the thing is, it's weird that Bayonetta is now Nintendo exclusive. Like Bayonetta 2 and 3, it's Nintendo owned it. They basically funded the development so much that they own the Bayonetta property. It's crazy. Because it was very much not a Nintendo game when it first came out.
Yeah, it's funny though, because obviously
she's got Link costumes now.
Sony and Microsoft obviously didn't care about it, and Sega,
but the fans
pitched it around and went, so we want to make Bayonetta 3, but we're not totally convinced on it. And Nintendo went, we'll pay for the development of that game,
which is cool. Yeah. So they went, okay, then
it's because they wanted a more grown up game for their system.
Bayonetta 2 is fantastic. Bayonetta 2 is far better than 1. That's why Bayonetta 1 I had when it came out, and I got the PS3 version, like I told you. And the PlayStation version was not good. And by the time it came to Xbox, I had so much else to play, I never went back to it.
Yeah.
So the next thing I did was Bayonetta 2 got announced. This was years later, obviously, on the Wii U. And I'm like, Bayonetta was good. Bayonetta 2 was phenomenal, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah, you love that game. Yeah.
Really good game. So I'm excited for Bayonetta 3. But why does it have to come out right now? Like, I would be happy. See if they come out and said Bayonetta 3 is delayed again, I'd be like, fine.
Yeah. Nice.
But anyway,
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what's crazy to me? Sorry, I know you're going to speak there, but I need to say it. Where the fuck's Devil May Cry? Where the fuck is it?
Well, I mean,
Where's
they
6?
put out DMC 5. That wasn't that long
Yes,
ago.
it was years ago. It was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, like no, it was 3 years ago. So they'll probably you'll probably get one in the next 2 years.
Yeah,
I would
but I need to
imagine.
know about it now. Devil May Cry 5.
That was because that came out 20.
You're right, it was 3 years ago. It was the start of 2019.
Yeah, it's not that long ago.
It just feels like forever ago. It's because they're so short. Like it's maybe 8 hours.
Yeah,
That was a good game though, because it took the story kind of from the original and it mixed it with the gameplay and the music from like DMC that we really liked and no one else liked because they never played it.
I should go and play that game because I did
Oh,
like.
did you not play 5?
I played a little tiny bit of it, but not that
Because they
much.
brought out a next gen version now.
Okay, I never played the next gen. Like it was definitely
Yeah.
last gen version I played, but not for that long.
It was Xbox One version I played, but I mean, like the DMC, like I still prefer DMC, and I just hate the folk that went on about that game saying it sucks. It's not. It is Dante.
It was great, yeah, it's really fun.
Spoilers, but in the middle of it, his hair turns white because of the devil powers, and he becomes the Dante. You know, it was set up as a fucking prequel, and all of you idiots that didn't play the game complained because they didn't spoil it in the trailer by showing you. But see, if you played the game, by the end of it, he looked like Dante. He had the red coat that was long. He had the white hair and everything. It explained how he got. It was an origin story for Dante's hair.
Sure. Yeah, I liked what they did. They even joked about it as well, with the bit where he gets the mop head on.
And it was white. The mop head landed, and it was like he looked at the camera and went, "Nah." But the thing is, all the trailers just showed black hair Dante, and everyone went, "Oh no, I don't want to play as this kid. I don't want to play as this cool hipster emo Dante." And it's like, but you don't. Oh, he's wearing a blue coat. It's not. It is Dante. He gets his red coat. He becomes Dante. This is a prequel, but no one gave it a chance. No one played it. They moaned so much that Capcom went, "We're not making it." And I'm like, that was the best one.
It was really good. I loved that game. It was brilliant.
And don't get me wrong, 5 was similar to it, but I still prefer that kind of. It wasn't a full reboot. It was a soft reboot where it gave Dante a wee bit more of a fuck you kind of personality that he never had as much. And well.
Nice. But yeah, I didn't play anything else.
No, neither did I. We'll finish up there anyway. But yes, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. If you want more, you can get us on Twitter. We don't often post on Twitter. We're there. But I do write for GameRant.com and the Xbox Hub. You'll get me there, Ali Kenobi. My links are on my Twitter, which is not that one, but you'll find me. And Andy just works if he's not here. So if you want Andy, go into his shop. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. We'll hopefully see you next week. And I'm kind of overwhelmed with all the games that's on its way.
Definitely.
I'm kind of glad that Zelda got delayed. Imagine it was this year on top of all this.
Yeah,
because it was meant to be. Imagine Zelda was right now as well, and you wouldn't know what to do.
I mean, if Zelda released like through the summer, that'd be great. But like, it's too... maybe they looked at this and went, "Just hold it, it's fine."
Yeah, maybe they did polish it. Let's polish it some more.
Yeah,
tweak it.
No, because people don't care like about Zelda coming out.
They'll buy it any month.
Yeah, they'll buy it regardless of when it comes out.
And it will sell for the rest of the Switch's lifestyle and later. So, But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. We'll see you all next week, hopefully, with some more stuff about video games. Bye.
Bye.